at you. Bellingham against Rodgers. Who wins?
I think it's got to be Bellingham, and I think it's going to be Bellingham. Look, Rodgers is a great player. He's had a good season with Villa. Has actually played really, really well for Thomas Tuchel. You know, some of the best performances under Tuchel have been with Rodgers as the number 10. But I just think Bellingham is just special. He's got that X factor, and I think that he has done well enough in the friendlies that it's going to be Bellingham against Croatia.
And on the left wing, Gordon or Rashford?
So I'm a big Rashford guy. I would go for Rashford in that role. I think Rashford's top level is better than Gordon's personally. But Gordon was really good in the friendlies in Florida beforehand. So there's kind of a suggestion that maybe that's going to edge Gordon just ahead of Rashford. So I'm not quite sure on that one.
And Jack, it wouldn't be an England tournament if we weren't getting obsessed about the referee and fearing that he's going to have some sort of agenda. Well, there is a potential issue there with Thomas Tuchel and the referee for the Croatia game, Clement Turpin. He has history with Tuchel going back to the Bayern Munich days back in 2023. He sent off Tuchel in a tie against Manchester City, and he was pretty damning in his criticism. He called him grade E. He said he'd give him 1 out of 10. He was absolutely terrible. It's unbelievable at this level. Yeah, it was quite stinging criticism. There is a chance, I suppose, that this sort of criticism could be playing on Turpin's mind, isn't there?
Well, Henderson was asked about this in his press conference on Sunday evening, and he gave a very diplomatic answer, basically saying that we can't control the referees, and you just got to have every faith that the referees at a World Cup will be really good. So I think on that basis, I think you have to hope that Turpin would not be too offended by what Tuchel said. I think referees, if they are elite referees, they should really have pretty thick skins. They should be able to take quite a lot of stick from managers and players and everyone else over the years. So I'd like to think that Turpin will not be particularly vexed by those comments.
Fingers crossed. Hey, Jack, thank you very much indeed. Just a quick word from you guys in the studio. Obviously, we'll see France play against Senegal later on. England will then play on Wednesday. That'll be the big boys that we've seen. Obviously, it didn't go to plan for Spain. Our simulator model has England with an 11% chance of winning the World Cup. They've gone very, very close in the last 2 tournaments. How excited, how expectant are you both?
How excited? Reasonably.
Okay, cool.
Can you be reasonably excited?
No.
Feels like a yes or no, either or.
Okay, how expectant are you then?
Not very expectant. I think the key difference compared to, as I mentioned before, my generation growing up and sort of seeing England repeatedly get knocked out of the quarterfinal stage by Brazil or Portugal or whoever, is a sense that lots of these players have now been in multiple Euros finals or have got to the semi-final of a World Cup. And I think that's sort of now it's an experience that you need when you get to the latter stages of a World Cup. We didn't have previously and we have now.
So you should be really optimistic.
But anything can happen at a World Cup. I think every single team at this tournament has very obvious weaknesses. There's no sort of perfect squad.
There's this question of whether England can get over the line. I think to get over the line, you've got to be at the line, and that's actually the hard part. Putting in the processes, putting in the systems, putting in the work, building a culture and a
You're sounding
squad.
like Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel pill.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm Tuchel pill.
You were full on. Yeah, go on.
But that's the hard work, and honestly, I think the last decade in my lifetime watching England has been the most successful decade of my lifetime, and since '66. And I think it's just edges. It's just edges now. It's if Rashford's penalty is a couple of inches to the right in the final against Italy in 2021, then that penalty shootout ends up quite differently. Look, I think at 2024, the edges kind of went England's way, and the performances perhaps weren't quite there, and still got to the final. And I don't think they would have deserved to win that tournament. But you can look at the last 3 tournaments. Certainly, they've been at that line, and it's about getting over it. 2018 was a little bit different. I think none of us expected that, but there's been a trajectory which is upward, but then also steady. I think the big question is now you've got a transition from Southgate to Tuchel. You're seeing, a lot of different players in the squad now than there would have been previously. But I see a consistency in wanting there to be a culture, wanting to be a harmony within the group, wanting people like Jordan Henderson or Dan Burn or whoever, players some people wouldn't pick, but are important for that culture. So I am hopeful-ish. I said England-Spain final last week, and I'm just going to have to put that Spain prediction down to a clerical error. So I'm going to say England win it. Yeah.
Okay. It is now time for our Do You Know Daily Trivia, Day 6. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So say your name if you know the answer. Those are your buzzers. Your voice is your buzzer. Okay, here we go. Do you know who won the World Cup Golden Boot in 2014, scoring 6 times?
Jay. Thomas Muller.
It's good, but it's not right.
How's it good, Dan?
Because it was amongst my multiple choice options.
I didn't know we were getting multiple choice options.
No, I was going to give you them if you were struggling.
Oh, okay.
But old fingers first over there buzzed in. So, that's the situation we're in. So, let me repeat the question.
I'll go. I'll just go.
Okay, go on, go.
Higuain.
Incorrect.
Messi.
Incorrect.
Close up.
No. I thought you were asking me whether you were getting closer.
No. Miroslav, closer.
No. Where's I'll give you a clue.
Golden Boot 2014.
Similar colour jersey that you're wearing, not a Brazil jersey.
Wasn't like Spain in an away kit.
Oh, James Rodriguez.
Correct.
Well
done. Well done. Do you want to know what the pecking order in the Golden Boot that year?
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly.
James, I'll tell you anyway. James Rodriguez was 6, Thomas Muller with 5, Lionel Messi with 4. And that was the year that Rodriguez, of course, scored his famous goal against Uruguay. So it was James Rodriguez in 2014. So, well done to Critch. Well, look, we can't talk about the World Cup without speaking about the GOATs. Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years young. Lionel Messi, 38, still going strong. This year is going to be their 6th World Cup, more than any other players in history. The reigning champions Argentina, they kick off their campaign against Algeria in the early hours of Wednesday morning. That's here in the UK. Portugal in action later on Wednesday against DR Congo. Now, ahead of the tournament, James Horncastle caught up with the Portugal manager Roberto Martinez on the topic of Cristiano.
This is Cristiano Ronaldo's 6th World Cup, Roberto. Many people thought that the last World Cup in Qatar was going to be his last. What would you say to the people that believe Portugal needs to move on from Cristiano Ronaldo?
The influence of Cristiano Ronaldo as a number 9, the movement, the timing of the movement, the finishing, the way he opens spaces, the way that he can influence the defensive backline of the opposition, that's a big strength. So obviously one thing is we're not going to be part of the conversation. This is part of everybody who loves football can talk about the iconic figure of Cristiano Ronaldo. We can always speak of the player that he comes to the national team. He's the captain as an example, and his attitude is as fresh as a 18 years old that is playing for the national team for the first time. So it's our responsibility to use what Cristiano brings to the national team. And from this point, he gets valued, and he has to compete for his role on a daily basis. This is not anything different to any other player in this dressing room, but it's a very different conversation between the iconic Cristiano Ronaldo, that the longevity in the game is objective and it speaks for itself. It's not part of any conversation. And then you got the player that now is, for us, the top goal scorer of this national team.
Critch, I'll come to you on Cristiano Ronaldo. I wasn't quite sure in the end what Roberto Martinez was saying. It sounded to me a little bit like he's still available and I've got to pick him, basically, to me. That seemed to be the subtext, of that.
I think that is the subtext to the latter stage of Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal career. Look, I'm not surprised that he's still playing, he's still starting. I think it's almost too difficult, too political to not start him. I do think this is a curious inflection point at the moment because he wasn't starting.
And you can listen to ball-by-ball commentary on Sports Extra, or you can head over to Sports Extra 2 for coverage of India against the
Radio in the booth next to us will be making some noise during the game too as well. If the pre-match stuff was anything to go by, Portugal have Diogo Costa in goal, João Cancelo, Thomas Araujo, Renato Veiga, Nuno Mendes the back four, João Neves, Vitinha in front of them. Talking to the ball to be favourable to him in this particular match. He's seen Lionel Messi score a hat-trick yesterday for Argentina. Kylian Mbappe get two. Erling Haaland open his World Cup account with two. Cristiano Ronaldo, if he scores in this game today, will go level with Eusebio on 9 World Cup goals. Eusebio scored all of his at the World Cup in England in 1966 on their run to the semi-finals. We are underway. Portugal in the dark red, white numbers on their backs, green trim on the shirts. Early possession for them inside their half, which is away to our left as we look down on the pitch from up on high. And DR Congo playing with the 3 centre-backs up against this extremely strong Portuguese team. They are in light blue with red and white trim, and that is Thomas Araujo of Benfica for Portugal. Right-sided centre-back, winning only his 5th cap. Will be very interesting to watch how Araujo and Renato Veiga cope with Cedric Bakambu and Johan Wissa.
Yeah, I think so. You know, that's the problem for Portugal in Houston. No Ruben Diaz, so it's a young centre-half pairing. I mean, the game hasn't started at a fast pace. Portugal popping the ball around at the back, and DR Congo with their 5 defenders, 3 in midfield, 2 up top, are just happy to sit in a mid to low block. Haven't really put any pressure on the ball. They're saying to Portugal, you carry on popping it around and we're fine at this moment in time.
I would argue, given the temperature inside this stadium today, cool conditions outside, there wouldn't really be any need for a rehydration break to break the game up into quarters, but we know that's coming in 20 minutes or so. Less than 3 hours away now from England's appearance in this tournament. First game against Croatia. Full commentary on the way on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Still Portuguese possession here. Cancelo thinks about a cross from wide right, brings the ball in field. Little shimmy with the ball at his feet. Across it comes here to Vitinha. Plays it to Nuno Mendes. I don't think DR Congo have had a touch of the ball as yet, and we played almost 2 minutes of this game. Here's Mendes. Back to Vitinha. Ronaldo just dropping off the edge of the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes had a touch. There he is again. Just trying to dizzy the DR Congo defence. Ronaldo's first couple of touches. Listen to the noise as soon as he touched the ball there. To Cancelo, his cross is blocked, but it comes to Renato Veiga. He goes wide to Mendes. Early cross looking for Ronaldo. Blocked at the near post. DR Congo managed to get it away. Wissa gets a boot on the ball. They scramble it away up towards the halfway line. Veiga plays a pacey pass out to the left-hand side, and Bruno Fernandes did really well, A, to control that, B, to then make the pass the 1-2, and C, now to switch play out to the right to Cancelo. These DR Congo defenders are going to be extremely busy. Bernardo Silva, his first couple of touches, drifting in field. Across it comes to Vitinha. Edge of the penalty area now is Chelsea's Neto. Nuno Mendes outside him. Neto makes the run beyond. Sliding challenge from Wan-Bissaka. Neto's got it here. Back to goal inside the DR Congo penalty area. Bruno Fernandes cross into that box, headed straight up in the air, and a chance for DR Congo to try and get a foot on the ball. And it's Mutasami who is fouled and wins the free kick for his team.
Yeah, interesting start to the game. I think it's pretty much as we expected. DR Congo, the Leopards. How do leopards snare their prey, Bruce? They're incredibly patient, aren't they? They rely on stealth and speed and short, explosive attacks, and they have to be precise in that final third.
Love that analogy, Chris. And they are sleek and gorgeous animals. They are one of the most beautiful animals you will ever see in the wild, the leopard. I do like a leopard. Here are the Leopards with their back three. So Lionel Mpassi is the goalkeeper. He's all in light grey down to our right. They've very nearly got caught playing out, and they have. Here's Ronaldo dribbling into the penalty area. A couple of step-overs, lays the ball back to Bruno Fernandes. Left-hand side of that DR Congo penalty area, forced away from goal, and back he comes to Nuno Mendes.
He doesn't have the step-overs of old, does he? They're more for show. He used to go past people, didn't he?
If we're going to continue the sort of Wild West theme, he's kind of the oldest gunslinger in town now, Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't he? Grizzled veteran at the age of 41, but still a very sharp shooter. Chancel Mbemba, Axel Tuanzebe, Steve Kapuwadi, the three centre-backs for the Democratic Republic of Congo. Wan-Bissaka and Masuaku, the full-backs. Then it's Galail Mukau of Lille, Mutasami and Edo Kayembe of Watford, the midfield three. Bakambu and Wissa, Yohan Wissa, who had an injury-interrupted, disappointing first season with Newcastle. Just 3 goals for them across his first season at St James's Park. He's dropped deep to get on the ball. He's lost the ball. Bernardo Silva prods it forward. Couldn't find Ronaldo, couldn't find Fernandes. Cleared into the Portuguese half, and Portugal pick up possession again. 5 minutes into the game, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Portugal 0, DR Congo 0.
Yeah, and the Leopards haven't had any sustained spell of possession, struggling to keep hold of the ball. It's just wave after wave of Portugal or Portuguese attacks.
Vitinha strokes a pass between players, found Bruno Fernandes. Vitinha again to João Neves, right-footed floated pass, pinpoint onto the right boot of Cancelo. Whip cross right across the face of goal. Wan-Bissaka gets a right leg on it, manages to clear the ball away. Vitinha with his musketeer's moustache fizzes another pass out to the left. Cross comes in. There's the header, and it finds the back of the net. Fabulous header from João Neves. Got into position in the penalty area. Leapt like a salmon, guides it beautifully beyond Lionel Mpassi. It looked really difficult for DR Congo from the start, and Portugal have unpicked the defence straight away. Portugal 1, DR Congo 0.
Yep, they've had all the possession. Portugal, they just needed the punch. And João Neves with the terrific header. It's a really shaky start, negative start from DR Congo, saying you can have the ball, we're just going to defend our box. Wonderful ball in from the left-hand side, and Neves gets up superbly. And then he has to direct the header. He's 12 yards out, level with the near post, and heads it into the far corner. It's a wonderful header. Pace on the cross, precision on the cross, and a tidy finish. The perfect start for Portugal.
Yeah, it was a Ronaldo-esque leap from little João Neves at the near post. Fabulous cross from Pedro Neto to find him. And I think I was possibly mixing my animal metaphors there with João Neves leaping like a salmon up against the leopards. I'm not sure the salmon's necessarily going to win that battle, but João Neves did there. And Portugal's World Cup campaign is up and running, and DR Congo have problems, and you might just hear our rather excitable Portuguese colleague rabbiting away into the microphone away to our left-hand side. Bakambu gets a first touch for them, plays the ball out to the right to Mukau, looking for the run of Wan-Bissaka. That's blocked. It comes back to Mutasami in his orange boots. Chipped pass away to the left-hand side, controlled by the former West Ham defender Arthur Masuaku. Delays on delivering the cross, dummies it a couple of times, blocked by João Cancelo, and out for a throw-in to Portugal.
And in a funny sort of way, Ali, it may have done DR Congo a favour actually going behind too early, because they were happy just to sit on the edge of the box. Now they're actually trying to make a couple of passes. They are making a couple of passes and trying to play now. They were too tentative, weren't they? The Leopards, they were more like pussycats early on.
They let Portugal play, let them have all the ball. and Portugal have punished them early on. And can this Portuguese squad, this super strong Portuguese squad, deliver for the nation at a World Cup? They definitely want to do that for their dearly departed, beloved teammate Diogo Jota. I've heard Bruno Fernandes saying they want to do it for Cristiano Ronaldo too, thinking this might be his final tournament at the age of 41, but the next one being hosted by Morocco, Spain and Portugal, he might fancy that, I think, at the age of 45.
Suspect he will.
He's involved in a couple of 1-2s here, and again DR Congo sitting off. It's getting a little bit warmer in here. My glasses are starting to steam up a little as Vitinha exchanges 1-2s with Neto. There's no pressure on the ball here when Portugal have it inside the DR Congo half, and it's being played at a very leisurely pace. We are just about 9 minutes in. Portugal lead DR Congo by 1-0. The João Neves header, his 4th goal for his country. Vitinha passes the ball across to João Neves, who was fouled twice there, picked himself up and kept going. Here's Bruno Fernandes, passes back to Renato Veiga, left-footed centre-back, once of Chelsea. Pass down the left-hand side for Nuno Mendes. Mendes chases, keeps it in play, is tackled by Mbemba, and it goes out for a throw to Portugal.
Yeah, it's such a brilliant trio in that midfield for Portugal. João Neves and Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes. Really quick passers and keep the ball superbly, don't they? And just DR Congo just can't get themselves going. Portugal happy to press high, and DR Congo do not look comfortable playing out from the back.
Pass down the left-hand side as they start to try and build. That's Watford's Kayembe. Risky ball back into the edge of his penalty area. Well dealt with by Twanzebe. Capuadi plays back to the goalkeeper, Mpassi. Long ball from him down the right-hand side, headed away by Mendes. Here's Johan Wissa. Saw where that was going to land. Starts to dribble down the right. Just on the corner of the Portuguese penalty area. Cross comes in. Important header from João Cancelo. Wissa's quickly onto that again. Wall of red in front of him. Hits the left-footed shot. That wasn't far away. Skimming wide of the right-hand post and behind for a goal kick. First effort from DR Congo. They trail Portugal 1-0.
Yeah, and you know, they're quite direct in terms of getting the ball up the pitch. And Wissa, eventually the ball comes to him on the edge of the box, just outside the box, and he's a right-footed player but shifts the ball onto his left foot and nearly finds that far corner. Curls just half a yard wide of Diogo Costa's right-hand post.
Goal kick for Portugal. Diogo Costa, first choice keeper at the last 2 major tournaments, fires that downfield. Neto is battling away with Mbemba, keeps the ball in play, wide on the left. Bruno Fernandes, as he does for Manchester United, points where he wants the pass to be played, then applauds Pedro Neto and stomps off into midfield. Next break in play will take you back to the Oval. Chris Sutton loves his cricket, so he'll want to know how England's bowlers have been getting on in the second test against New Zealand. We watched the New Zealand footballers in a very entertaining game against Iran, finished 2-2 in their first group game, first appearance at the World Cup since 2010. Their cricketers lost the first test at Lord's, have been batting today at the Oval, and we will be there very shortly. Commentary continues over on Sports Extra with the Test Match special team. Patient possession again from Portugal. Bernardo Silva inside his own half. Bruno Fernandes makes a run. I think we've got time to get to the Oval here. Ellie Oldroyd, please come in.
Yes, I think Chris will be enjoying the bowling we've seen from Jofra Archer here. 263 for 5 New Zealand currently, and Blundell has just reached his half century, but an over from Archer, which was just absolutely toe curling to watch from a batter's point of view. Blundell and Phillips are up against this intense period of short, fast bowling, but no breakthrough for Jofra Archer quite yet. 263 for 5.
Well, the breakthrough here has come for Portugal. They lead DR Congo by 1-0. Bernardo Silva has just been booked for a challenge on Kayembe. We've watched it live from quite a distance. We'll see the replay. What do you think, Chris Sutton?
Well, it's one of those challenges where he goes to ground. He does win the ball, but the fact that he lunges and the follow-through, he catches Kayembe, and then Ronaldo trying to ref the game there, wasn't he? And around the referee telling him he got that decision wrong. That's the issue with those lunges, isn't it? That's, you know, you often see yellow cards for that, but Bernardo Silva putting himself under a bit of pressure.
Right, back to the Oval. There's been a wicket, Ellie Oldroyd.
Yeah, I think Jofra Archer will claim this one, even though it's gone to Jacob Bethel. I think that there was a little bit of relief from Tom Blundell. He thought, here's my chance to hit out, and instead he hit it straight to Joe Root. Blundell's out for 51, 263 for 6.
Commentary continues over on Sports Extra. DR Congo, another shot on goal. Brilliant skills from Bakambu. Picked the ball up 40 yards from goal, beat a couple of men, hit the shot deflected, and it went behind for the corner. They've woken up a bit, Chris.
It's brilliant feet from Bakambu, but he goes past Renato Vega too easily, gets to the edge of the box, and Thomas Araujo gets around and makes the block.
Portugal 1, DR Congo 0.
This is the chance for DR Congo. I think Portugal, if you had a criticism of them in the qualifiers, they didn't defend crosses well.
Yeah, and those wins in the playoff games for DR Congo to get here, centre-back scoring from set pieces. They go for a clever one into the feet of Wissa. He tried to lay it off. Well, he was attempting to be clever, and Wissa, having misplaced the pass to find his teammates, worked really hard to get back and win the ball. Mutasami is able to bring it forward for DR Congo. Support from Kayembe on his left. First time ball from Masuaku, takes a deflection, but Kambu tries to chest it down. The offside flag goes up. Portugal were bringing it away in the left-back position, and they're comfortable now. Free kick for Portugal. They lead DR Congo by a goal to 0. We were sitting having dinner last night watching Lionel Messi score a World Cup hat-trick. That is something that Cristiano Ronaldo has done, but it was quite a day yesterday, wasn't it, Chris? We were thinking of CR7 as Messi was firing 3 in, and Mbappe.
You just wonder with his competitive nature, you had Haaland as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
He always wants to be the top dog, doesn't he? Cristiano Ronaldo at the ripe old age of 41, and he will want to make his mark. He'll be desperate to make his mark.
Not scored in his last 9 World Cup games. Not World Cup games, I beg your pardon. Last 9 games at major tournaments, and I think not scored in his last 12 from open play in major tournaments. So 3 penalties within there. But the rate has certainly slowed down. 8 World Cup goals to his name, 22 in total in terms of major tournaments. Portugal, you're not missing anything here.
One behind Eusebio, the great Eusebio.
In World Cup goals, absolutely, yeah. Who scored all those goals in one tournament, 4 of them against North Korea in a quarter-final at Goodison Park in 1966, when North Korea were 3-0 up against Portugal. Eusebio scored 4, beat them 5-3, lost to England in the semi-final. Bobby Charlton scored twice. Portugal lead 1-0 here. The goal scorer Neves plays out to the right. Ronaldo's involved in the link-up. Neto speeding forward, gives it back to Ronaldo. Neto again. This time he's tackled. Mutasami helps his defenders out. Then a touch on the ball from Macau, and it goes out for a Portuguese throw, which Nuno Mendes will take quickly. And that was good link-up play from Portugal's centre-forward Cristiano Ronaldo. Same from Bruno Fernandes. Doesn't do too much there, just walks onto the ball. First time pass, out it comes to Cancelo. Cross in towards Ronaldo, who was trying to get into position for the spectacular bicycle kick. Another cross in is beyond him. Headed away here. Falls in front of João Cancelo. DR Congo managed to get bodies in the way. And that's a good pass into midfield. And there's Wissa, who lays it off to Macau. Macau's looking for the run of Wan-Bissaka ahead of him. Got to be careful he holds onto the ball. Does that. Mutasami is there. Mutasami strokes a low pass to his left-hand side. Kayembe has sport from Masuaku, and Masuaku drags the studs of his left boot over the ball to try a trick. Is tackled, was looking for a free kick, doesn't get it, and Portugal patiently pass it back to their goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. 17 minutes in, Portugal leading DR Congo by a goal to 0, and Nuno Mendes just going through the gears here. Starts a run off the ball. Bruno Fernandes chips it into his path. Mendes brings it down, still running, still going. Goalkeeper's out, palms the ball away. Bruno Fernandes is there first. Couple of touches, left-footed across goal, and sliding in at the far post, but not able to get the touches. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, well, Congo are happy to have they're playing with a high line at times, knowing that Cristiano Ronaldo isn't really going to run them in behind, so they need runners from other areas, and that was the Portuguese left-back Nuno Mendes who got in behind, and then Bruno Fernandes picking up the pieces. I don't know whether that was a shot or a cross, but not too far away.
Portugal lead 1-0. DR Congo have taken the goal kick short. Capuadi, the left-sided centre-back, lands about 10 yards short of the halfway line. Flicked back towards Ronaldo. He was wanting Bernardo Silva to come for that because he felt he was in an offside position. Silva couldn't get there in time, and Passy on the half volley smashes it away, and it goes out for a Portugal throw on the right inside their own half. If Portugal and Argentina win their groups, they could meet in a quarter-final in Kansas City. The first time ever in a major international tournament you'd have Ronaldo against Messi. Who would be the wizard in Kansas, Chris?
Very good, Bruce.
Bit obvious.
This isn't so straightforward for Portugal. This group, Colombia, they've got some good footballers, haven't they?
Here's Ronaldo, plays it back to Mendes. Again, very sedate pace. Portugal able to control the tempo of this game. Vitinha is absolutely brilliant at that. Such a brilliant pivot for Portugal, isn't it? Vitinha
eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah.
He's on the ball, just making the play, popping it around.
Lays it off. I think you described them both actually as diminutive figures. That's the sort of classic footballing term for players of their build. Magic in their boots, though. Here's Vega, much bigger, taller man. Ronaldo tries a little trick, spins in space, didn't have to beat anyone there, but Portuguese fans enjoyed it, some of them anyway.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't go past anybody anymore when he does do a trick. That's the issue. Bit of a show pony.
Do you think he'll score in this game? I think he will. Mendes looking for the run of Neto, who has got speed down the left-hand side, and Bemba's got it covered, wants to get his body in the way and let the ball run out of play. Doesn't quite do that. Wan-Bissaka works it onto his right foot, passes to his right. Good from Macau, loses his man. Back to the goalkeeper, Lionel Mpassi, who plays his club football in France for Le Havre, but is actually their backup keeper. Not the starter for Le Havre in France last season. Senegalese Mori Diaw was the man in front of him. Vega heads back to Portugal's keeper, Diogo Costa, who is looking to keep himself busy. Hasn't had too much to do, although DR Congo have had a couple of efforts deflected wide of his goal. Portugal lead 1-0. Here's Mendes. Infield to Neves. Fernandes comes trotting towards him, casually lays it back. Neves flicks it with the outside of his right boot. Fernandes dummies a crossfield pass, prompting and pointing again. Rolls it to Nuno Mendes. Fernandes screams for it and wants it back. Now he's got the palm of his right hand open and saying again that he wants players to make runs into space for him. Little touch moves him away from his marker. Vitinha.
It's like a training game, isn't it?
Yeah.
At times, attack v defence. You've got the Reds of Portugal against the Blues of Congo. And such control. Portugal know when to slow things down with Vitinha and Neves in there, and then when just to quicken the pace.
We watched them at the Euros a couple of years ago, knocked out in the quarterfinals by France. We did that game, and again, Portugal obviously well in that game. The talent they've got in their midfield just couldn't find the goals at that tournament. 0-0 against Slovenia in the last 16. Ronaldo had a penalty saved in that game. They had to go through on the shootout there. They have got the early goal in this game. Passing it around for fun at the moment. Fernandes lays it back to João Neves, thinks about the cross, side foots a pass to Vitinha. Bruno Fernandes on the ball in the inside left channel. Very patient, poised build-up play from Portugal.
Well, we're high up, aren't we, here? And looking across the Congo backline, they've got a back six at this moment in time, and Portugal just popping the ball around in the Congo half, and they can't get near them, can they? But I mean, not that they're threat after threat, but they're just biding the time, patient. The Portuguese are.
You feeling thirsty, Chris?
A little.
Yeah, we got a break on the way very shortly here. Here's Araujo. No Ruben Dias today for Portugal. Feeds the pass to Bernardo Silva. Clever disguise on that ball down the right to João Neves, who pops up on the right wing there. Back it comes to Araujo. But Portugal here, so much possession, just trying to draw DR Congo onto them. And they're not falling for that at the moment. So Portugal have dropped deeper. Now they're trying to open it up to the left.
Is this all part of the plan from DR Congo?
Fernandes looking for the first-time ball to find Neto. Not on target. Macau is tackled and the ball is out for a throw-in to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it is time for
Here we go,
the hydration break. So players will take liquids on board here, not boiling hot inside this stadium, but this is a part of this World Cup. So next 2.5 minutes or so, the managers will have a chance to chat to the two sets of players. Portugal leading DR Congo by a goal to nil. João Neves with the header. Let's take you back to the Oval. Second test match between England and New Zealand. Ellie Oldroyd.
267 for 6 New Zealand. Absolutely fascinating contest at the moment between Jofra Archer and Glenn Phillips, who spent more time on his back at the crease than standing at the crease, because a barrage of bouncers from Archer, and then Bethel bowling from the other end, his left arm spin just creating a wicket chance as well. So that was a cunning plan that came off. Tom Blundell just holding out to Joe Root at short mid-wicket for 51. Phil Tufnell sitting alongside me. This has been a fascinating little period of play, hasn't it, in the evening sunshine?
Yes, they've fought back nicely, New Zealand, and as you said, they've gone to the short ball tactic for Jofra Archer, who's coming to bowl quickly as well. He's done it very well. Sat down Glenn Phillips about 5 or 6 times. He's bending this way, bending that way. England perhaps just looking for one more wicket to say it might be their day. You know, both sides have stuck to the task. Flat pitch though, so England will be thinking, yeah, it's not, you know, we've done all right here. Perhaps 350 par.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, is that both captains said, yeah, we'll definitely bowl first at the toss, because it was quite cloudy overhead at the start of the day, but the sun's come out and we know there's a lot of runs in this Oval wicket.
Yeah, always runs here at the Oval. You look, you know, you go back even to the county matches as well that's been happening here. I think Leicestershire scored nearly 700. I think they got 690. So England will be thinking, if they can sort of skittle New Zealand for something around 320, blast past them, I think that's the template of how England are going to perhaps try to win this game.
What have you made of this kind of, I suppose, a makeshift seam attack, really? It's not what they were expecting to be lining up with 10 days ago.
No, I think they've stuck to the guns quite well. They looked a bit tired after tea when New Zealand trying to sort of throw a few punches back and counter-attack, but I think they've stuck to the guns well.
Thank you very much indeed, Tuffers. Yep, so the shadows are lengthening. We'll be playing here till 7 o'clock because of that late start to the day. 267 for 6 New Zealand currently.
Thank you, Ellie. Just trying to work out the time difference. So it's just coming up to 6:30, isn't it, back home? So about another half-hour of play or so at the Oval. Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Roundup of the day's play on the Test Match Special podcast on the BBC Sounds app. Now, here's one for you, Chris. During the hydration break, the DR Congo manager, Sébastien Desarbres, has a chance to water and nurture his flowers. He's known as the florist, isn't he? Because and he's so cool because he's used to sort of taking teams on in unpromising conditions and getting good results out of them. And you're not quite having that nickname, are you, the florist? You don't think that's quite right?
He's more of a sort of garden centre apprentice, isn't he? Starting sowing the seeds, isn't it? It's not a florist, is it? The florist is the one at the end, the seller. Yeah, don't quite get that, but it's certainly got some thinking to do. As I say, there's no doubt that this, the game plan of Congo is to sit deep and defend and counter. They just haven't countered enough, and that's the issue. But at 1-0, I mean, he maybe, I'm not saying he'll be happy, but at 1-0, they're still in the game. They'll feel that. I mean, they're not being that adventurous, are they, Congo? But let's just wait and see.
Yeah, Curaçao in this stadium, when we did the game against Germany, managed to equalise to make it 1-1. Eventually lost the game, of course, 7-1. We're back underway. Portugal lead DR Congo by a goal to nil. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and England on the way. Kick-off at 9 o'clock in Dallas. About a 4-hour drive from here. We've done that a couple of times already. Some stadium as well. We're yet to see that, but looking forward to it. England against Croatia. John Murray and Paul Robinson with the commentary. There is an absolutely enormous statue, isn't there, Chris, on that drive? I mean, one that Cristiano Ronaldo would love, wouldn't he? It's Sam Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, taller than the trees, taller than the forests around it. Massive statue on that highway to Dallas from Houston. Vega's ball down the left. Neto's got loads. Oh, the goalkeeper thought about coming there. Back pedals. Neto's early cross looking for Ronaldo. Good defending. Sliding block. Takes that behind from Mbemba, and that is a corner to Portugal.
Yeah, really excellent defending from the experience. Mbemba, once of Newcastle United, once of Porto, I think. So he should understand the Portuguese style pretty well, and They're always looking for Ronaldo, aren't they?
Yeah.
Neto off that left-hand side.
Roberto Martinez ahead of the tournament, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's continued excellent scoring record for Portugal under him. Scored goals in the Nations League finals games last year against Germany and Spain. Portugal winning that tournament for a second time. Ball forward down the left is aimed at Nuno Mendes, headed away. Mendes is able to keep it in play on the left. Wan-Bissaka's close by. Mendes fires it back to Vitinha, lays it off to Bruno Fernandes. Bakambu nearly got a foot in there. Fernandes gets the pass away just in time. Cancelo runs away from Yohan Wissa. Here's Vitinha, little magician ball at his feet. Traps it for a second, plays it to Neto.
Doesn't waste passes, does he, Vitinha? Just has that wonderful understanding of where to pass and who to pass to.
Cancelo's low cross just beyond Ronaldo. Great ball in between the retreating defenders and the goalkeeper. Couple of yards in front of Ronaldo. Do we go for the obvious and say a few years ago he would have got to that, or is that stretching it a little bit?
Well, I mean, it was a yard or two, well, a couple of yards ahead of him. As I mean, we're in the stadium, we're seeing a picture of Pepe, the great Pepe. What a defender he was.
Miss him. Love commentating on Pepe. He was fun and games. Lots of theatrics.
He loved a dive, didn't he?
Now and again, Chris. Now and again.
Yeah, outstanding career.
Diogo Costa slings the ball out over arm. Oh, that pass not good to Vitinha. It's not the kind of pass that Vitinha would have played. Mendes missed him. Great skills from Wan-Bissaka. Early ball in. Wissa chests it down, lays it off. Chance for DR Congo. Wissa's free in the penalty area at the moment. Dribbling from Macau. He turns, plays it back to Wan-Bissaka. That cross comes in. Wissa was trying to hit it on the volley. It's smashed away by Araujo. The ball falls to Bruno Fernandes. Gets it tangled between his feet. Neves makes a challenge. Bernardo Silva back to Fernandes. Quick volley pass high to the left-hand side. Is over Neto's head and goes out of play for a throw-in to DR Congo. We've played half an hour and Portugal lead by a goal to nil. And as patient as they're being and as much possession as they've had, they'll want more. They will definitely want more.
Yeah, they will, but Congo will be looking at that young centre-back pairing of Portugal and think, can we expose them in any way? Will we be able to create something?
Diagonal ball out to the right, looking for the forward run of Wan-Bissaka.
He does that brilliantly as well, Vitinha. Just on the second balls, just has such a great instinct.
Yeah, on the move now in front of his penalty area. Vega's caught on the turn by Yohan Wissa, who is known by the Congolese fans, Chris, as Kovo, which translates as bald one. I discovered in my
bald one.
Bald one.
Yeah.
Anyone on our team we could call Kovo?
Well, I think over in England we're baldy, aren't we? Not bald one. Baldy, isn't it?
You'd call someone baldy rather than bald one. Yeah, you would.
You're
right.
No, you would. It amounts to the same thing, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah. In fact, I've
gone. They're both. I mean, they're both. You could say they're both offensive. If
offence committed here. Pedro Neto is down. Caught by Chancel Mbemba, who's getting booked. Neto is flat on his back, holding his face. Mbemba is protesting his innocence, almost laughing at the fact that he's been penalised. I think he feels he was fouled. We'll have a look at the replays when we get them. Reminds me as well, I mean, you and I were watching the game separately yesterday. That Sadio Mane challenge on Kylian Mbappe, how that was not a penalty. Yeah, Neto jumps into Mbemba, knocks him over.
That's just not, I mean, that's not a yellow card offence. Little Neto, he's not the biggest, is he? Diminutive figure up against big Mbemba. Mbemba doesn't jump with his arm. He doesn't throw his arm. He doesn't jump with it out, and because little Neto isn't tall enough, he gets one in the neck. Does Neto, and a free kick awarded for Portugal. I think that's really harsh. That yellow. You shouldn't be penalised for being tall.
13 minutes left in the first half. Mendes is ball in, looking for Ronaldo as always. Good defending. DR Congo have it covered. Played out to the right to Macau.
Could have gone in behind there. Bakambu, the centre forward, had the run on the Portuguese centre halves there. He would have been in, lack of awareness.
Capuardi, oh, that's brilliant. Well taken on in midfield. Driven shot by Kayembe is deflected and loops up nicely for the goalkeeper Costa, who's just able to jump gracefully and catch the ball with both hands.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, we spoke about this before the game when we saw the Congo team. Noah Sadiki, who had a brilliant season at Sunderland. Yeah, he's on the bench, isn't he? And Kayembe from Watford in the Championship getting the nod ahead of him. So it just shows that they have a fair bit of strength in depth to Congo.
Full commentary on England-Croatia on the way. What are we? We're in the 7th day of the tournament. England still yet to play, but they're doing that very soon. Don't miss it. Full commentary, 5 Live and BBC Sounds straight after this game. All the build-up. There'll be build-up in half-time at this game as well. John Murray and Paul Robinson with the commentary. Ghana and Panama, the other 2 teams in that group. Commentary on their game at midnight UK time this evening. Games go through the night. It is just after lunchtime here in Houston. Bernardo Silva passes the ball back to Araujo. Araujo to his goalkeeper Diogo Costa, who's set off his Brighton. Very nearly got caught there clearing. Wissa making the challenge and half blocking the clearance. The ball spins up in the air.
That was careless from Costa, wasn't it? He just really lax and waited and waited and waited, and then Wissa nearly pinched the ball off him.
Careless Wissa, nearly, Chris. Wan-Bissaka.
That would have been catastrophic from Costa, wouldn't it?
It would have been bad, yeah. And I was just about to compliment him on his orange boots, orange gloves, which he's matched off very nicely with his bright yellow goalkeeping kit. Here's Capuardi for DR Congo. 11 minutes left in the first half. Kayembe chases that pass down the left. Stopped for a second there. Tackle came in from João Neves. Kayembe thought it was his throw. Referee disagrees, and that'll be a throw-in for Portugal.
I thought it was a throw for Congo as well.
Referee all in black, Abdul Rahman Al Jassim from Qatar.
Well, he would be all in black.
No, are they all at this? They are all at this tournament, aren't they? But referees can be in different colours, Chris. But today I'm just describing him for our listeners. White trim, black shirt, short-sleeved, all sorts of technology strapped around his ears and his wrists and everything they've got to carry out on the field. Here's João Cancelo in the dark red of Portugal. It'll lay off to Cristiano Ronaldo. Now Araujo just over the halfway line on the right-hand side. Back it comes to the goal scorer João Neves. Seems a long time ago, that goal.
Everything's in front of the back 5 of DR Congo. They need to have more threat in behind of Portugal. Everything's defeat. They need runners. They need to stretch that back line. Really squeezing the game. There's a forward run.
Yeah, forward run from Pedro Neto. They found him, tries to knock it past the defender, couldn't take it in his stride. It runs through to the goalkeeper and passes.
It doesn't matter who you are and how good your players are. You know, if you don't have players if players aren't willing to run in behind, it makes it easy for any defence, or easier for any defence.
Wan-Bissaka forward to Bakambu, who is tackled. Wan-Bissaka's there to try and help out.
Bakambu, though, you know.
35 years old. When we were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and Eusebio's record, he is 1 goal shy of Gimersi Mbakano's national goal scoring record for DR Congo. Next time he scores will be his 22nd, and he'll be level with Mbakani.
Was he once of
Norwich?
Norwich City,
a loan spell at Norwich. Portugal going to take a free kick.
Lucky guy.
Cancelo, Vitinha, João Neves right next to him. That pass doesn't work out. Here's Bakambu, controls it just inside his own half, looks for the run of Wissa. Araujo has it covered, glides in, takes it off Wissa's toe and passes to his left. And Portugal, with Bruno Fernandes, can start to build inside their own half.
But you know, once again, I'm repeating myself again. It's you can see they're squeezing up Congo to congest that midfield and try and not let Portugal dictate, but you have to have runners in behind, and the Reds of Portugal aren't running in behind. There's one, there's another one, and guess what?
Yeah, Nuno Mendes in behind, chests the ball down into the penalty area. Runners coming, looking for Neves in the middle. Portugal still have it. Edge of the penalty area, they've now lost it. Oh, Mbemba tries a back heel, he's given the ball away. Careless. Neves to the left and Mendes. Neto just behind him. Back it comes to the edge of the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes prods a little pass to João Neves. Wide it comes to Neto. Digs it back to Neves. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Side foots it out wide to the left again. Neto feeds it down towards the byline. João Neves with the run. Little throw of the body to try and throw off Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes will fancy this. 25 yards out, low shot. Blocked in the penalty area by Mbemba. Mendes goes for it. Thought he was caught. No free kick. Wissa brings it on the counter-attack for DR Congo. Bakambu holds it up. Plays it back here to Kayembe. 7 minutes left in the first half. Wan-Bissaka's got space there on the right if Kayembe wants to use him. Decides not to. Turns. Comes to the left.
They've got to play quicker forward there.
Floated cross into that penalty area from Masuaku. Easy for Vega to nod it away.
You have the chance to counter, as Congo did there. You can't come back on yourself and slow things down. It's worth the gamble. It just allows the Portugal players to make those recovery runs and get bodies back behind the ball. They've got to be braver of Congo, of the Leopards.
Slightly soporific appetiser this to England-Croatia coming at 9. Appetiser is the starter, isn't it, in the USA? It's on all the menus. The appetiser, they're absolutely enormous over here. Pass to the right. Finds João Cancelo.
That's not helping you, is it?
Been out for one run, Chris, to be fair, so far.
One waddle.
Oh, come on. That's harsh. Vega's ball to the left. Finds Vitinha. Vitinha again. Passes across here to Renato Vega. You can hear a slow hand clap building inside this stadium. Game's on a little bit of a go slow here, but Portugal are comfortable. They lead by a goal to 0. They scored early through João Neves. You're listening to it on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. We're your 24-hour World Cup station. Football Daily podcast.
Here comes the wave.
Not a good sign. Run through the middle is from Bruno Fernandes. He's putting Tuanzebe under pressure. Tuanzebe's dealt with that, clears it away, and out for a throw into Portugal. So yeah, Football Daily there for you every morning on the BBC Sounds app. Rick Edwards presenting that alongside Lloyd Griffiths from the west coast of the States. Rick involved with the breakfast show as always. 6 o'clock UK time, coming live from the west coast. And Steve Crossman, lunchtime UK time in New York again tomorrow from 1 until 3 o'clock. Commentary on England-Croatia is on the way. Mexican wave is rippling around the Houston Stadium. Fans trying to keep themselves entertained. Araujo passes to Vitinha.
Should Portugal be a little bit more adventurous?
Yes.
And giving it a great go? It has all been a little bit side to sidey, hasn't it?
Yeah. Cancelo's tackled, thought he was fouled. Free kick for DR Congo in the left-back position. 5 minutes till half-time. Updates from the cricket to come. Commentary continues on Sports Extra, and build-up continues to England-Croatia. 9 o'clock kickoff UK time this evening. We will dash away from the Houston Stadium, Chris, and try and find somewhere to watch that if we can avoid the alligators and snakes that you've been telling us about that are apparently lurking.
Be careful.
Oh, well, that's what I've heard.
Be careful in Houston. You didn't believe me, did you?
No, and I've yet to see them live, to be fair, Chris. I've heard your stories, and I've heard people tell tales. Here's a ball in towards Wissa, edge of the penalty area, couldn't control it. Mendes is on the turn. Are we going to get a little bit more urgency from Portugal late in the first half here? Araujo inside his own half, chased by Bakambu. Forward it goes. That's a nice layout from Neves. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Delays the pass. Ronaldo starts to make a run, then stops. Nuno Mendes has the ball just inside the DR Congo half. Again, Ronaldo makes the run, not used. He's in an offside position, so he saunters back. Portugal continue to play. There's Vega, Renato Vega. Big, shaggy, dark hair on top of his head, bright orange boots. Goalkeeper Costa was close again to being tackled there, wasn't he, by Bakambu? Wan-Bissaka's got to be careful here. Bouncing ball, deals with it, hooks it over his left shoulder. Nuno Mendes, well, I was about to say controls it and keeps it in play, makes a mess of it, sort of stands on the ball, and it goes out for a throw-in to DR Congo. Here's your latest score via the BBC Sport website from the Oval, Chris. New Zealand 280 for 6. How do you think you'd handle Jofra Archer? Oh, been a wicket at the Oval. Ellie.
for 7. Yes, Jacob Bethel strikes again, and this time it is Nathan Smith who is thinking, how on earth did I manage to get a bat on that and sky it, and the catch was taken. So he was out for 4. 280 for 7. We've just been debating whose day it's been today. I think you can give that to England, and all the debutants have had a part to play, because it was Jordan Cox who took the catch. 280 for 7, New Zealand.
Thank you, Ellie. Commentary, as ever, on Sports Extra. US Open Golf starts tomorrow as well. Brilliant course for that this year. Shinnecock Hills. And interception there from Kayembe. Very nearly got DR Congo away again. Ball has come back to Diogo Costa. They've just been little pair of sort of casual slips, haven't there, inside that Portuguese defence.
But the longer this half has gone on, and the lack of ambition that Portugal have shown, you think Congo think, blimey, you know, we're starting to fancy this.
Possibly a little bit of complacency.
I mean, it's, you know, of course it's all about the end result, and it's about winning, and if Portugal get the 3 points, you say, well, that's great, but it's only 1-0.
Araujo plays back to Vitinha inside his own half, and Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper, involved again. Just over a minute left of the 45. João Neves' header, the difference between the two teams. This is the first game in Group K. Uzbekistan, Colombia. Commentary of that at 3 a.m. UK time in the early hours. Vitinha on the ball. And in terms of the commentary on that US Open Golf, Saturday night starts on Sports Extra 3 at 8 o'clock in the evening. We'll move on to Sports Extra after England against Scotland in the Women's T20 Cricket World Cup, and then on to 5 Live after our commentary of Germany, Ivory Coast, and then on Sunday coverage of that US Open Golf from 8 o'clock, and that will start on Sports Extra. Good ball from Cancelo. Here come Portugal. Bernardo Silva takes too long. Mutasami gets a foot in. Still Portugal's ball. Vitinha looking for pace into Ronaldo. He slaps his hands together in frustration. They couldn't find him there. Vitinha's done well to scamper back and win the ball for Portugal. There's his partner in crime, João Neves. João Cancelo wide to Bernardo Silva, drops the shoulder onto the left foot. Cancelo feels he was blocked on the edge of the penalty area, protests with arms wide, flat on his back on the edge of the box. Capuati was the defender in his way. No free kick. And here come DR Congo on the left with Kayembe. Good run made forward by Macau here. Bakambu wants it in between the Portuguese midfield and defenders. Mutasami is involved. Now Bakambu gets it.
Macau's got to pass the ball quicker forward there. It just slows things down. There are the Portuguese players back.
Mutasami hits one with his left foot, hit his own man there on the edge of the penalty area. Wissa's won it. That's a foul. Araujo knocked over. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, and Portugal lead DR Congo by a goal to 0.
I don't know what the temperature is inside the stadium, but the pace of the game really. I mean, it's been so slow, hasn't it? Really has been. I think it's hard to criticise this Portuguese team because they're winning, but it has been sort of pretty dull, hasn't it? The football side to side not going anywhere with it. Did we not expect? We expect a little bit more than that.
Yeah, possibly, Chris. I think, but I remember them in the Euros a couple of years ago. They are like this. I mean, brilliant footballers in the team, loads of possession, but sometimes you're right, not quite that urgency. Nations League winners last year under Roberto Martinez. We've heard the reports that he's leaving the job after this tournament, whatever happens to Portugal. This is his 5th major tournament. Took Belgium to the World Cup semi-finals in 2018.
Is he really the manager, though, as Ronaldo?
You think Ronaldo's the manager, do you?
Manages the team.
Do you? Ronaldo at the moment looking for service. The ball is inside the Portuguese half. We played a minute and a half of the 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Here's João Cancelo playing the ball back to Araujo. Araujo across to Veiga, who jumps out of the way of the ball, controls it with his left foot, passes to Vitinha, skips into that pass, down the line it goes to Mendes, plays it back to little Vitinha, curling ball, cross to Araujo, nicely controlled on the instep of his right boot. Ronaldo's involved, but he's followed all the way down the pitch by Twanzebe, gets bumped. What's Ronaldo annoyed about there? Portugal keep possession. He's getting wound up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, he's making a run now, picking up pace. Ronaldo looking for this diagonal ball. It's gone wide. Might still reach him in the middle. Good first touch from Bernardo Silva.
He can't run as well, Bernardo Silva.
And here they come on the break. DR Congo Masuaku charging away down the left-hand side. Men to aim at in the middle. Low cut back to Mutasami. First time shot is weak, deflected, and spins behind for a corner to DR Congo. So what if they score in added time at the end of the first
Not
half?
enough thrust, though, from the Leopards. But deflected shot in the end, but Masuaku really could have driven higher. Bernardo Silva giving the ball away, but it's a decent, it's a bit of a safe strike deflected behind. Here's a chance, though.
Yeah. Can the Leopards pounce in Houston? Trailing 1-0 against the mighty Portugal. João Neves with the early header. More build-up of England-Croatia to come. Not far away now, just over a couple of hours away from England playing in this World Cup against Croatia. Corner comes in, headed away at the near post, drops down, and Bemba is there for DR Congo. Takes it on the turn, tries to get the cross in from the right, thinks he's won a corner, also is down in some pain there.
Bruno Fernandes caught him, didn't he? Did his job, actually, Bruno Fernandes. And Bemba wide on the right-hand side, shifts the ball to cross it in, and Bruno Fernandes just catches him. Twisted the ankle, his left boot on Bemba's right boot, and he's in a fair bit of pain.
Yeah, you can see that pain etched across his face. The referee's come over to check he's okay. Sebastian Desarbe, the manager, obviously concerned. That's his captain, one of his most important players out there. And Mbemba is hobbling heavily here, but he needs to get back into that penalty area because he will be a threat from this set piece. Late corner in the first half for DR Congo. Little pockets of their supporters you can see away to our right. Splash, light blue splashes in amongst all the dark red of the Portuguese shirts. Set piece opportunity. They've kept the 6-yard box clear, but there are 4, 5 light blue shirts gathered around the penalty area. They've taken the corner short here and trying to bring it into that box from the right-hand side. The cross eventually comes in from Masuaku. Wissa's header! Fabulous goal from Johan Wissa. Climbs high, powers it into the top corner of the net. What a magical moment for DR Congo. And they're dancing in unison in celebration. Unbridled joy from the DR Congo fans. And Portugal punished for slack defending and standing off DR Congo in this first half. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1.
Absolutely right. Portugal haven't shown enough ambition. And the longer the half went on, you thought, well, Congo are starting to fancy this. Set play, cross into the box. And Wissa at the far post, where he's 6 yards out. And it's uncontested, the header, and he heads it into the roof of the net. Brilliant finish from Wissa, who's had a pretty poor season at Newcastle. Didn't miss that one, though. Tremendous cross. And then Wissa, with the leap, gets up brilliantly, he does, and just controls the header superbly into the top corner. Costa nowhere near it, and there's the half-time whistle.
Last touch in the first half. The ball has ended up in the back of the Portuguese net. We have seen 2 headers in the first half, both Ronaldo-esque. João Neves with the first one for Portugal. The second one, an absolute beauty, as just described by Chris Sutton. And Portugal have got what they've deserved there, in a way, I think, Chris. I don't have too much sympathy, and that is a fabulous, a bit like the Curaçao goal we saw against Germany here. You know, this is over half a century since DR Congo, then Zaire, have been at the World Cup. What a moment.
Yeah, it's been boring Portugal, hasn't it, in the first half? And I mentioned the Leopards. Could they pounce? They were patient, weren't they? And then from a set play, worked it short, and Wissa got up
in all the games in 2022 in Qatar. I was at a few. I remember the where he got dropped and Gonzalo Ramos scored a hat-trick, and it was almost like, is this the end? And it's still not the end, and he just still keeps going. But that was 3.5 years ago now. He spent basically the entirety, he was released by Manchester United during that tournament. He spent the entirety of that time in Saudi, and no goals at Euro 2024. He scored in the Nations League semi-final and final, we should say, as well. So it's not like it's completely bust. But completely bust about Cristiano Ronaldo. It's ridiculous. But I do think at this point it's going to be interesting to see just what level
Hello and welcome to the Athletic FC podcast with me, Emma Payton. Well, the stars have arrived at the World Cup. Messi with a hat-trick, Mbappe and Haaland with 2 apiece. And away from the tournament, Milan have appointed Ruben Amorim. Well, here with me in the studio today, we have the Athletics' Mark Critchley and Liam Toomey. Gents, how are we doing this Wednesday morning? Have we slept? Did we stay up all night?
I have slept because I think if I didn't sleep and tried to stay up all night, then I'd still be in my hotel room right now, and
Yes.
producer Jay would be breaking down the door to get me into the studio. It's what is it, 9:45 in the morning? But I watched France, then I watched the first half of Norway, went to sleep, and then I woke up for Austria before my alarm, not intentionally. And like sort of experienced that through various stages of consciousness. But it's, you know, I feel like, and then watch the highlights afterwards. So I feel like I've got a good grasp of,
So you didn't have
grasp of things.
Right.
See, maybe not.
Yeah, it's really well rested, it seems. Yeah. So you didn't have an alarm that said, right, Austria, Jordan, wake up, Critch.
No. That was the plan going into the tournament. And then a few days in, I think that World Cup fever started to just dissipate a little bit. I've got to be honest.
I tend to get woken up by small humans rather than large humans on the TV kicking a football these days.
Okay.
So, yeah, I watched France and then tried to have a normal night.
Okay. Right, let's get to the action then. Ollie Kay was at Kansas City Stadium to see Argentina thrash Algeria, thanks to who else but Lionel Messi, while Adam Crafton was at the MetLife Stadium to see the Mbappe show. Here's what they both made of it.
So leaving MetLife Stadium after France 3, Senegal 1, and I'm kind of leaving here today questioning, could Kylian Mbappe become the best men's World Cup player in history? Because the records are starting to speak for themselves. He's already won a World Cup, scored a hat-trick in a final, 5 games now in which Mbappe has scored 2 or more goals in a World Cup match. He was crucial again for France today. Michael Elise also fantastic. Thierry Henry in the Fox coverage described Mbappe as France's MVP and Elise as the MIP, the most important player. I feel like that might be the story for France really in this tournament because they are the difference makers. But Mbappe, France, great start for them. They are the favourites. Let's see if anyone can stop them.
Hi, this is Oliver Kay, football writer for The Athletic, outside Arrowhead Park, Kansas City, trying to make myself heard above the partying Argentina fans who have just watched with the rest of us in awe as Lionel Messi has scored a hat-trick to defeat Algeria at the age of 38. I was feeling really nostalgic on the way here this evening because I read that it was 20 years ago to the day that Messi made his World Cup debut in Germany for Argentina against Serbia and Montenegro. I was actually there in Gelsenkirchen watching him come off the bench. Incredible cameo performance in a 6-0 win. That was the first time I'd watched Lionel Messi in the flesh. It has been, in some ways, the biggest privilege of my career has been to watch Lionel Messi in the flesh as often as I have. This is the first time I've seen him in over 3 years since he moved to MLS. And to watch him do this again tonight at the age of 38, perform like that, get the crowd off their feet. He's just absolutely phenomenal. Who knows whether he'll get the Golden Boot or Player of the Tournament or whatever at this tournament, but one thing is for certain, he is the greatest player I've watched in my time reporting on football. I don't think there's the slightest debate about that, but it's just a privilege to watch him, and it's a privilege even at the age of 38, 39 next week. Rolling back the years, what a player.
Yeah, what a player indeed. Not going to argue with Ollie on that at all. Incredible he was there for his debut as well. And then 20 years on, seeing him at close to 39 doing what he did last night. Adam, of course, sent his piece not knowing what was to come. I don't think any of us knew what was to come when we saw that France game. That really Messi was going to show that he is still very much the headline act. Mbappe, of course, had gone to within 2 goals of Miroslav Klose's World Cup record of 16 goals after his 2 against Senegal. Then along came Messi, whose hat-trick draws him level with Klose on 16. A first World Cup hat-trick for him at 38 years old, like Ollie said, a week away from his 39th birthday, and a 61st career hat-trick. Guys, it felt like it was just one of those incredible nights of group action last night. Like the World Cup has come alive.
It felt like the night that the World Cup truly started because you need the big names, you need the superstars to really light it up. And it felt like Mbappe, certainly in the second half, came out with a point to prove. He was quite wasteful in the first, I thought, and gave the ball away quite a bit. France made some adjustments, the biggest one being play better. And they really came out against what I thought was a good Senegal team, a very well-drilled Senegal team, and just took them apart in thrilling fashion in the second half. I thought Michael Olise was actually maybe the most influential player on the pitch during that spell. But then you get Messi responding later in the night. I don't know whether he'd watched Mbappe. He never gives the impression that he's hugely motivated by these types of things, but he's clearly motivated on some level by his rivalry with Ronaldo over the years. And he came out wanting to put on a show, and he did in typical Messi fashion. And he scored, the first goal he scored that was offside was like quintessentially Messi as well. Top bins, near post. And he just does everything with such style and so crisply. And he doesn't, who needs to move when you can kick a football like that?
I know. Maybe the second goal actually showed just how motivated he still is. It was one of those nights, wasn't it, where the stars just lived up to the billing.
Yeah, and I actually wonder whether we got Adam Crafton's piece out in time for Argentina to stick that up on the dressing room wall just to create that little bit more motivation for Messi. But no, I think it's really satisfying, and we all love it when a plan comes together. And I think, do we expect anything different for the biggest names and the biggest superstars of this tournament to hit the ground running right from the off? Well, yes and no, because it doesn't always happen. You can think of tournaments in the past. 2002 sticks out to me as ones where we've seen more underdogs sort of perform, and there hasn't been a real narrative thrusting through it until in that tournament, Ronaldo with Brazil. But it's just, incredibly satisfying when it does, because this is the grandest stage, and you want, especially in this profession, you want all these great narratives to go along with it. And I think that's exactly what we got yesterday.
Interesting, Adam Crafton there talking about if Mbappe could become the greatest World Cup player ever, which is an interesting topic, and I'm sure this will be talked about a fair bit over the coming weeks. He's written a really good piece over on The Athletic as well. Obviously, we're going to caveat this by saying that he did write this before Messi did what he did. So don't worry, Adam, we got you, okay? But he talks about Mbappe not just delivering goals, but the fact that they're game-shaping, game-changing goals. Obviously, Lionel Messi is in this conversation as well, but what are your views when we're talking about the greatest World Cup player ever?
Well, what I like about Mbappe is that it's the first paragraph of his legacy, isn't it? Because you look at his club career, he's never won the Ballon d'Or, he's never won the Champions League. It feels like there's still a lot for him to do there, but for France, he's just always been the man. I know we mentioned coming into the tournament, is he still the man for France? Because Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or for PSG, Olise in the form that he's in, but you see the way that they play around him in the opening game. Everything is geared around him. And when Senegal were frustrating France, he was the one who broke the game open. And he might have even done it earlier than he did, because it was it a penalty? I think it was probably a penalty.
I think we're all probably in agreement.
Denied on a VAR review. And his speed is just otherworldly. In small spaces and big spaces, he just destroys opponents. And it feels like he reserves his best finishing games for France as well. So I think if he's not there yet, he's certainly on the path to getting there.
I think if we're talking about the pantheon, entire World Cup history, there's going to be more to it than just goals. I think, like Miroslav Klose, a great player. I'm not sure he fits in the top 10, to be honest, if we're talking about the names in Pele, Maradona. And I would always instinctively go towards Maradona, because I think, maybe you could argue he only had one great tournament, but I'm personally drawn towards like iconic players who burn very brightly and very intensely. And I think that's Maradona. But then I also think you sort of have to win it more than once to be in the conversation. And there's obviously Pele, a 3-time winner. And the one thing I'd say about Mbappe is that he's on that Pele arc, if you like. He's came into it as a teenager, won it, star of the tournament. Maybe it hasn't quite worked. Look, scored a hat-trick in the final last time, right? So, but hasn't quite got there, hasn't won it again since. But he's making impacts at various stages of his career, and the World Cup is, as you say, it's like the first paragraph. It's the whole framework of his journey, of his career, and that's what really makes an iconic World Cup player, I think. So I think Adam's absolutely right. Like, he's on that path, and the scary thing is, there's more to come.
I really liked what Adam said about Thierry Henry's comment as well about Mbappe being the MVP and Michael Olise the MIP, because I know we all know it, but last night again just showed how good Elise is, didn't it?
Pass of the tournament, I think, for the first goal. We've seen Elise play that kind of pass before, certainly for Bayern Munich this season, but to do that against a defence that had frustrated France for so long and really completely shut them down in the first half, I thought Elise was the key to breaking them open. And it wasn't the only time he put Mbappe through with a brilliant pass as well. The combination of Mbappe's speed and Elise's vision and timing is just absolutely devastating. And it's remarkable to me that you've got the guy who won the Ballon d'Or last season, Ousmane Dembélé, and he's just kind of, can you go and play on the right? Because we think these two guys are so good together that the whole attack has to be built around them. And it's interesting because I think we'll see a different side to Elise in this tournament as well, because he's going to be primarily a 10 rather than a winger. We're going to see more of what he can do in those little spaces more centrally. And my favourite moment of his, actually, even aside from the pass, was when he just received the ball and turned almost at full speed without slowing down and just left Idrissa Gueye just completely lost in the middle of the pitch and just glided away from him. He's a brilliant player to watch.
He's so good to watch. It felt like obviously it took France a little while to spark into life, and largely because of how they were set up in the first half. But Argentina, meanwhile, Critch, it seems like they are just so sort of crafted so well around Lionel Messi.
Yeah. And we've said this a few times on this pod already over the past week, I think, but there is that same structure that was there in 2022. And it's a structure that obviously it's designed to get the best out of him, but his whole game is about getting the best out of his teammates as well. I know that sounds daft to say the morning after he scored his first World Cup hat-trick and we're all talking about Lionel Messi, but he is part of that collective as much as anyone else in that team, and he is looking to enhance that collective as much as anyone else in that team, which is what you want your superstars to do. I think, like, for me, how is he still doing this? 39 next week, how is he still doing this? It's insane. And I loved, as good as the first and the third goal were, I really loved the second as well. Not just because he's actually there in that space and hunting it and finding that space, like how are these players not picking up Lionel Messi? But when the ball comes to him, I don't know about me, I'm certainly not Lionel Messi, but I think most players would hit it in the other direction. You know, he's got that tap in, but the goalkeeper's fumbled it. The goalkeeper's correcting himself to go the other way, but he anticipates that and hits it back into the same corner that Zidane was in. And it's that split seconds intuition, which we've said so much about Lionel Messi, but that's what separates him from everybody else. And I think that was on display again last night.
How do you give the keeper the eyes with a one-touch rebound tap-in?
Exactly, yeah, but he does, and he gets in players' heads like that, and he's just incredible.
For Messi's third goal, I had to think. Part of me thought, Algeria, guys, do you honestly think this ball's getting crossed into the box? Messi is always loitering around the edge. He starts the attack, then he arrives late. And we've seen him score that goal a million times, but it was like he was playing the hits.
Yeah. I feel like we could wax lyrical about Messi all morning, but someone we haven't even mentioned yet is Erling Haaland, who, scored a couple of goals on his World Cup debut, of course, with Norway beating Iraq 4-1. Critch, a kind of Erling Haaland-esque performance, really.
Yeah, but like to the nth degree, to the extreme. Like, there's always, whenever you talk about
and Alistair Bruce Ball, you'd imagine that those Portugal players have had a rocket.
Hey, they definitely will, Kelly. They were out early, the Portuguese players. DR Congo have been making them wait. The Leopards have pounced late in the first half here. That's why it's Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. But that's an interesting one, isn't it, Chris? I mean, you were talking about how much influence Cristiano Ronaldo has in this team and has in this dressing room. But were they playing like that in the first half because Roberto Martinez wants them to play like that in the first half? Because if he did, how much can he get stuck into them at half-time?
He would have wanted a greater threat. The problem is, I mean, we've said this for a while now. With Ronaldo, he's been an unbelievable player. He's 41 years old, but he just can't move like he used to be able to, and that's a problem. That's why the DR Congo backline are playing high, because they say, well, you're not going to outrun us. So Portugal have had to get runners from other areas, and it's been a problem. And they've made a substitute, haven't they, at half-time? Mentioned Bernardo Silva. He started out wide on that right-hand side for Portugal. He doesn't have the ability to go past players anymore. Great player that he's been. So they've made a change. A bit more thrust now on the right.
Oh, just about to get underway there, and Cristiano Ronaldo too quick out of the blocks, a false start. Now we're underway in the second half. DR Congo kick us off there, playing from left to right. Yohan Wissa with the late equaliser. Last touch of the first half, heading the ball into the top corner. We watched it again and again on the replay. Brilliant cross from Masuaku. Not quite sure how they lost him, because he was completely unimpeded. He was 7-8 yards out, leapt superbly, and directed the header brilliantly past Costa.
And I said to you, Sunderland to Newcastle, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good point, Masuaku.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah. On loan to Lens in the second half of the season, but Sunderland player crossing for Newcastle centre forward. Fernandes caught late by Mutasami has stayed down. The referee wants to play advantage, and the sub that Chris mentioned must just deal with that. Tricky little winger, love them. Francisco Conceição of Juventus is on for Bernardo Silva, and that will give them a little bit more zip on that right-hand side, won't it, Chris?
No, absolutely. You've got Neto off the left, Conceição off the right now, and I think we'll see a bit more positivity from Portugal. Well, that's what Roberto Martinez will be hoping.
Yeah, can be quite theatrical as well, Conceição. Commentated on him a couple of times for Portugal. Real handful for defenders, but if there is the suggestion of a little bit of contact, I'm trying to put this as delicately as I can.
You're saying he's a diver,
no, I'm not quite saying
well, that. You sort of are.
This is the centre-back, Thomas Araujo. Lots of fans yet to get back to their seats in the second half. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. Uzbekistan, Colombia, the other game in this group. This is Group K. There's a ball from deep.
But there's a run. They're running behind from Conceição.
Yeah, didn't reach him, but that was the idea. And now down the left-hand side is Edo Kayembe of Watford for DR Congo. Light blue shirts, same shorts, same socks, white and red trim. That is brilliant from Mutasami, twisting and turning to get away from challenges. Real swagger now about DR Congo as they bring the ball forward. Now Wan-Bissaka drags it in field. And by the way, the goal from Wissa, forgot to say, in all the excitement at the end of the first half, the nation's first ever goal at a World Cup, as we've mentioned, competed as Zaire back in 1974.
And what about the celebration?
Oh, brilliant, Chris. Yeah, dancing in unison, led by Wissa, but it was total unity. Subs, players on the field, everyone, and they've got some moves, I have to say, Chris. That did.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a couple of things on social, haven't we? Social media. That won't be one of them.
That's a good idea.
Really.
That's a good idea.
Maybe we'll get our producer John involved.
Yeah, well, we definitely need at least 3 of us, so yes, John would definitely be brought in for that. Here's Neto, bit of pace down the left-hand side. 1-1 in the game, DR Congo right in it. Step over from Neto, dummies the cross, back onto the left foot, looking for Ronaldo, beyond him to the far post, jumping for the header at the far post was Conceição, who is down. Couldn't get contact on the ball, wants at least a corner, if not a penalty.
He's saying he was fouled, Conceição. The little fella at the back post, one little fella, Neto crossing it in, evades Ronaldo in the centre. There's not much in that, is there? I mean, you mentioned he likes to hit the deck, actually comes off his left arm, Conceição, and goes behind. He's saying he was pulled back. No,
not having that. 1974, Zaire lost 2-0 to Scotland, lost 9-0 to Yugoslavia, which is a record margin of victory for any team at a World Cup. Mentioned the Hungary 10, El Salvador 1 as well the other day. They lost 3-0 to Brazil, but here they're 1-1 against Portugal, and next break in play.
Was there some funny business after that as well? What after the 9-0 was there?
That was the game in which one of the Zaire players, before Brazil were about to take a free kick, came rushing out before the whistle was blown to kick the ball away, and people mocked the team and the man for not knowing the rules, but he was actually trying to make a point, because there was so much unrest at home under a dictatorship back home. He was trying to make a political point and stick up for his team, and it was completely misunderstood at the time. That's well remembered, Chris. 4 minutes gone, second half. 5 live BBC sounds. England Croatia on the way. Kicks off at 9 UK time. But this is 1-1, and this is interesting. Ball in field from Macau to Wissa, back to Kayembe. Kayembe turns. Mutasami. Left-footed pass to Wan-Bissaka, back to Mutasami, gives it back to Wan-Bissaka. Neat first-time football from DR Congo. Turn from Bakambu, hits the shot, Costa's down to save it, and Batinha is there, and the offside flag is up. It wouldn't have counted. Fantastic football.
Yeah, much better football. And we had a look at the stats at half-time, and what Portugal dominated possession was a 68% But they had 2 attempts on goal, and DR Congo in the first half has a tight offside that Bakambu on the inside there and gets his shot off. Yeah, DR Congo had 6 attempts on goal. So, it's all right having all of the ball, but you've got to threaten.
DR Congo passed the ball straight out of play. Cancelo goes to get a replacement ball to try and get the game back underway quickly. Talking about World Cups past, I was mentioning the Eusebio 4 goals against North Korea back in 1966. My mate Paul from back home has got in touch, says his dad was there, went to all the matches at Goodison Park in 1966 and paid about 5 shillings and 6pence for all of them, for each ticket. Slightly different times, but incredible to be there during that tournament and witness that game. The ball has gone behind for a goal kick to DR Congo. Portugal's team then, Diogo Costa in goal, Cancelo, Araujo, Veiga and Mendes the back 4, João Neves and Vitinha in front of them, Francisco Conceição has come on for Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto and Cristiano Ronaldo, who hasn't had a sight of goal in the game. Crosses have been aimed towards him.
The referee's given a corner for the delay there from Congo. The goalkeeper and one of the centre-halves were passing the ball between them. You take it from me to you, from me to you. It's like the Chuckle brothers. And all of a sudden, Portugal awarded, quite rightly, the corner. The referee warned them. He had his hands up doing the countdown.
He was giving it the countdown. Those are the rules at this World Cup. Every team, every player knew them before they started. And that's the first time you and I have seen it implemented during a game as yet. And they will not be chuckling DR Congo if this ends up in the back of the net. Corner will come in from the right-hand side. 1-1, plenty of red shirts hovering around the edge of the 6-yard box. Now they're taking too long over this. Portugal. What's going on? Where's Ronaldo? He's at the far post. I'm looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that's Cancelo over there, who's about to take the corner. He's over on the far side of the field to us. Runs at the ball. Ronaldo's making a determined run. It's aimed for him low towards the near post. Wissa saw him coming, made the challenge, held him off, and they've cleared the ball.
One off the training ground. One of the Portuguese coaches, Austin McPhee, isn't it? Who's a set-piece specialist. And the ball drilled in from Cancelo. Ronaldo, you're right, started his run from the back post, and it was actually smart defending from Congo.
England-Croatia full commentary on the way. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Conceição lays it back to Vitinha. First-time cross. High one. Ronaldo beaten in the air by Wan-Bissaka. Headed away here to Nuno Mendes. I will give you the DR Congo team in just a second. Ronaldo gets the ball edge of the box, run from Nuno Mendes beyond him, cross comes in, good defending. I think Mbemba slid in, took a knock as he did so, down inside that penalty area, gets himself up. Bakambu does well to jump, turn, win a header, but he's outnumbered there and the ball is back with Diogo Costa. So Lionel Mpassi is the goalkeeper for DR Congo. Chancel Mbemba, Axel Twansebi, Steve Capuardi, left-sided centre-back. It's a back 3. Long ball over the top for Nuno Mendes to chase. Can't reach that. Behind for the goal kick. Wan-Bissaka, Masuaku, the full-backs. Macau, Mutasami, Kayembe, the midfield 3. And then 35-year-old Cedric Bakambu, who now plays his club football for Real Betis. Used to play for the likes of Marseille, Olympiacos, Galatasaray as well. And Johan Wissa, Baldy, as he's known, up top. Good use of the bald head, though, Chris. No, I'm not going to call him that, obviously.
You can't call him
that. And if people actually haven't heard the first half, they won't know what I'm talking about there. I'm not having a pop.
Well, the bald one. It was
the bald one. Kovo.
A bit of a nicer way to say it.
Exactly. It sounds a bit nicer, doesn't it?
I was worried there with that goal kick again. Just taking his time.
Ronaldo picks up the ball wide left. Winger of old, Cristiano Ronaldo, now centre forward at 41 years old. Vitinha comes sweeping forward. Low pass to Cancelo, brings it infield onto his left foot, really puts pace on that to find Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes takes a couple of touches, curling ball, chested down in the box, and volleyed home. But the flag is up and it won't count. João Cancelo was in there. Acrobatic finish, brilliantly worked. Lovely layoff in the penalty area. The offside flag is up. That goal will not stand for now. The referee says wait, and this time the goalkeeper's allowed to wait. They've got to check it.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball from Bruno Fernandes to the far post. Clever chest into Cancelo, but Cancelo was a yard offside. Was it Neves who chested the ball? Brilliantly set up, but Cancelo then overhead kick.
Back underway, Makambu on the right-hand side. Deflected cross goes behind for a DR Congo corner. And in fact, that was one of those decisions. When I said they had to check it, they've got the semi-automated offside. And when they're tight, I know the assistant referees now at this World Cup, they actually get a buzz, Chris. They're wearing something where the technology will tell them so that those flags can go up a little bit quicker and they can be certain they're getting it right, and then play doesn't continue when it doesn't need to. Flag went up straight away, and quite rightly. I mean, he was well offside, wasn't he? He was well offside.
He was a yard off, yep. That was pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
And here we go. You know what happened last time? DR Congo got a corner.
Imagine if they take the lead in this game. 1-1. Already 10 minutes gone, second half. Masuaku's delivery, good pace on that. Renato Vega heads it straight up in the air. And Bemba's waiting for it to come down. Nodded forward and away by Conceição.
Did well, didn't he, little Conceição there?
Wins a big header. Vitinha stretches, brilliant first touch inside his own box. Couldn't do much with the clearance, straight to Wan-Bissaka. Even game at the moment, this. Masuaku still over on the right, plays it to Macau. Macau is running at Nuno Mendes, slips the ball infield, nearly got it there to Kayembe. Bakambu does brilliantly, hits the post. Did so well to barge his man off the ball, Bruno Fernandes, win that ball, smash the shot as quick as he could, and nearly caught Costa out.
Yeah, I think he's unlucky. A free kick awarded. I just think he uses his strength brilliantly. Bruno Fernandes takes a heavy touch. Bakambu gets his body across him. I've just had a look at the replay. I mean, was that sufficient contact for Bruno to hit the deck like that? But hammers a ball off the right or off the left-hand post.
Change coming for DR Congo. So Portugal made one at half-time. This is DR Congo's first, and that is Noah Siddiqui. Chris mentioned him in the first half. Plenty of listeners to Five Live's Premier League coverage will be aware of just how well he did, the 21-year-old, for Sunderland last season, and he's come on for Galile Macau. So Siddiqui is on, wearing number 14 in the light blue for DR Congo, and we are still level at 1-1 in what's become an intriguing tussle, and that is a loose touch from João Cancelo. He gets away with it, manages to recover. 1-2 with Thomas Araujo of Benfica, so he'll be playing his football under Marco Silva next season. Nuno Mendes heads it forward. Oh, that's nice from Bruno Fernandes. Back to Nuno Mendes, who was on the same wavelength. Wan-Bissaka through the back of him. That's a foul. Mendes is hurt. Renato Vega's not bothered about his teammate's injury there. He wants Portugal to take the free kick quickly, and they do. And Neto's been released on the left-hand side. Neto's up to the...
Look where Ronaldo is. He's in a crossing position. Neto wide left for Portugal, and Ronaldo just stands 30 yards from goal.
Portugal looked like they were going to put the ball out of play there. And then Bruno Fernandes, Wan-Bissaka stopped.
Make a decision.
Yeah, put it out. And they have put it out. And now Bruno Fernandes is complaining about something to referee.
They had the right to play on, Portugal didn't they? I mean,
they did,
you know, and they decided to play on, and they were just indecisive in the end.
Well, but what you can't do, Chris, Fernandes sort of... Wan-Bissaka stopped, didn't he? Because he thought, right, they're putting the ball out. And then he carried on. You think, well, hang on, he's out of position now. You can't do that. They have done the right thing there. But you're right, it's not a head injury. They could have played on. And it was Vega's decision to take the free quick? Just cutting out words now. Free kick quickly. Oh, dear. Portugal 1. DR Congo 1. England, Croatia. 9 p.m. kickoff, just over 90 minutes away. John Murray and Paul Robinson were watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders entertaining the fans inside that Dallas stadium. We had the Houston Texans cheerleaders at halftime here. Chris and I have both watched that brilliant documentary, The Gambler and His Cowboys, about the Dallas Cowboys, and that brilliant line from Jimmy Johnson, the coach, wasn't it, Chris? After a big win for the Cowboys in a big game, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, great watch.
Cancelo, that is a nice ball, floated over the top for Conceição. He's away down the right-hand side, tries to nutmeg the defender, stopped in his tracks by Capuadi. It's gone behind for a corner.
But that is a run Bernardo Silva wouldn't have made out on that right-hand side for Portugal. That's why Conceição has been thrown on at half-time. Space in behind, make sure you're running. And he does do. Takes his defender towards the ball, and then dynamic movement, and Portugal win a corner.
Nuno Mendes, no rush here, just goes jogging over, rolling the ball right along that byline, the painted white line away to our left-hand side. 4 tiers of stands here, playing under the roof at the Houston Stadium, towering over the action. Nuno Mendes in the rich red of Portugal. Ronaldo's making the run into the near post. There's the delivery. Wissa's got him covered again, heads the ball away. Cancelo outside of his right foot, curls one into the penalty area. That will go behind, I think, for the goal kick.
He's hurt himself again, poor old Mendes trying to keep it in.
Landed on his backside, didn't he? So 1-1, half an hour to play, and Roberto Martinez looking very dapper in the dark grey suit, crisp white shirt, sharp collars, looking a little anxious about what he's seeing out there at the moment. Ball comes back to the goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. He's outside his penalty area, passes across to Renato Vega. I've still got my list actually, Chris. You know, we were doing the Germany-Curacao game with the famous World Cup upsets. If DR Congo, in only their second World Cup, beat the mighty Portugal, I think that goes down as a massive upset.
Do you think so? When you look at the way that they qualified and some of the teams which they beat on the on the way to get here,
world ranking 46.
It wouldn't be such a big shock, this, would it?
Okay. Nuno Mendes passes back to Vega. Certainly a famous win in the history of Congolese football. But yeah, I take your point. Vega's tackled. Wissa has it. Running free for DR Congo across the Portuguese half. Support on his left-hand side from Siddiqui. First time I think he's touched the ball since coming on. Chased by 2 Portuguese players. One of them's Cancelo, makes the tackle. Throw in for DR Congo.
Good sub to bring on Siddiqui. Had an absolutely superb season in the northeast at Sunderland. Gave their midfield, Sunderland's midfield, so much thrust, and that's what he'll be looking to do.
Throw in for DR Congo, level with the edge of Portugal's 6-yard box. And that's coming low, flat and hard. Flicked on by Bakambu, nodded down and wide, and the goalkeeper Costa had it covered. Centre-back Capuardi was looking to get on the end of it. Close of play at the Oval. New Zealand 291 for 7. England won the toss, chose to bowl. I think Chris would have batted, but they didn't. They bowled. Joe Root decided to bowl, Chris.
To be fair, I'm saying I would have batted. That was on the way in a car in Houston. Having not seen the pitch.
Yeah, but you love a bat, don't you?
Not heard of the weather conditions, but yeah, that was a throwaway line.
No, I know. I've stitched you up there. 291 for 7. Roundup of the day's players always on the TMS podcast, available on the BBC Sounds app. Araujo to Conceição. Left-footed pass back to Vitinha. Still no real urgency about the Portuguese play. Vega's floated ball over the top for Neto to chase. Beyond him, and Passy leaps in front of him, catches the ball, bowls it out underarm here, down the right-hand side to Kayembe. He's fouled by Bruno Fernandes. And now the theatrics start for Bruno Fernandes, because he did commit a foul, and he claims that Kayembe's made the most of it and then throws his arm
he's
up
saying the dive gesture. He's got a bit of a brass neck, hasn't he, Bruno?
John Murray and Paul Robinson on the way. England against Croatia. Very much looking forward to hearing what Thomas Tuchel has gone with that first England starting lineup. Scotland back in action Friday night UK time, 11 o'clock kickoff for their second game against Morocco. Already 3 points in the bag. You'll be able to hear that in full on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as well. The ball's gone out for a Portuguese throw. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Feels a lot like the first half again, this at the moment. Neves down the right to Conceição. Conceição back to Cancelo. Fernandes, 1-2, and back it comes to Fernandes from Cancelo. Araujo, wide to Cancelo. Decides not to deliver the cross. Cristiano Ronaldo standing. Edge of the D between the 2 centre-backs, just waiting for the moment that this ball might be delivered. Patient build-up. Could come now from Cancelo. Low pass in towards the near post. Looking for the run of Conceição, cleared away and out for a throw-in to Portugal. João Neves, in fact, who'd made the run and couldn't quite get to that ball. Another throw for Portugal, and Conceição picks it up and wants to take it quickly. Bruno Fernandes, inside right channel, cross comes in. That was an early one. Tuanzebe diving header away. Comes to Nuno Mendes for Portugal. Vega side foots a pass forward to Vitinha, right in the middle of the DR Congo half. Decides to spin it out to the right-hand side. Cancelo down the right here to Conceição. Now he stops, then zips away to his left, lays it back to Vitinha, traps the ball with the studs of his left boot, back to Conceição. Bruno Fernandes sort of half-heartedly makes a run. Conceição crosses, headed away. Mendes is there, not a good pass to Pedro Neto. Mendes makes amends by winning the ball back for Portugal, under pressure inside the DR Congo half. Down, wins the free kick. DR Congo thought they were away on the break. 1-1, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, he did well there, Mendes, actually, to hold on to the ball. He's under pressure from two Congolese players. A little better spell, isn't it?
Crossing.
For,
yeah, towards Ronaldo.
Portugal.
Sorry, I was getting excited there, Chris. Saw Ronaldo
Oh,
through.
here we
That's
go.
a brilliant clearance downfield, looking for the run of Bakambu. Costa's there, cool as you like. Lets Bakambu close in and then just cushions a lob pass over the head of the Congolese centre forward.
I mean, a lot of people watching this game, listening to this game, will be thinking, well, when's Roberto Martinez? When's he going to look at the centre forward and maybe replacing him? Because he's been on the periphery of the game.
Oh, Conceição knocked to the floor by Sadiki, went absolutely flying there off balance. Play continues, ball out on the left with Neto. Bruno Fernandes has made the run, 21 assists of course, record number in the Premier League last season. Run from Neto, has run straight into Mbemba, who's followed him out there to the left flank. Neto has another go, that's a foul, isn't it, by Kayembe? No, referee saw it better than me, got the ball, and Kayembe's now dribbling out of his own half, up towards the halfway line. Mendes gets there, stops him, blocks him, nearly became a wrestling match. And which way's he given the free kick here? And suddenly it's just getting a little bit feisty.
bit niggly down there now.
Mendes,
you can see
and
Bruno
Mutasami.
Fernandes in there as well. He needs to stay out of it, but I think Portugal clearly getting frustrated. Let's have a look at the Neto. He dives, doesn't he? Naughty Neto. There's no contact. He throws himself down. Portuguese theatrics.
Referee's got to get control here. Wissa and Bruno Fernandes were pushing and shoving. Mutasami was in there. Wissa's still pleading the DR Congo case. It's a free kick to Portugal in the end. I think DR Congo felt it probably should have been their ball. Now there's a handshake, nice to see, between Renato Veiga and Johan Wissa. Portugal won, DR Congo won, and we're nearly at the hydration break. Said that with some excitement, actually, in the second half. Portugal have taken their free kick, so this will be the last bit of action before the drinks interval, as they'd say in cricket. 12th man bringing them out on a tray. Conceição slides a pass through the lines, laid off here and back to Cancelo. Conceição on the ball again. Support on that right hand side from Cancelo, still extremely patient. Araujo's ball, here's Conceição, space in the penalty area, lays it back, Ronaldo digs it wide. The pass was behind him, gets a right-footed first-time effort away. Difficult to get the angle on that to test the goalkeeper. It's off target behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, it's a wonderful ball into Conceição, who takes the ball, turns, and Ronaldo's not quite set when he gets the shot off. And it's an awful finish. Maybe he could have let that through his legs or bypass him and go to Bruno Fernandes, who was in a much better position. That's the thing in that situation. I think all the Portuguese players, as we go for another hydration break, they're always looking for Ronaldo, aren't they? And in that situation, that's the wrong cross pick there, and a chance wasted.
Hydration time in the Houston Stadium. So both sets of players have come over to the touchline. Roberto Martinez, I can see down there in amongst the Portuguese players. Gonçalo Ramos, yet to appear. 25-year-old centre-forward, scored the hat-trick at the last World Cup against Switzerland. Cristiano Ronaldo so far today has not had a massive impact.
How's he not taken him off, really? Well, we know about his incredible goal-scoring record. We know what a great player, which he has been, but he's got to be braver in that situation. The game has passed him by today. Get fresh legs on, a bit of dynamism, a bit of a threat.
Right, let's get some dynamism from John Murray, BBC's football correspondent in Dallas. England-Croatia, John, not too far away.
No, the atmosphere is beginning to build inside the stadium. We've got thousands and thousands of people now in the, well, I can't work out whether it's 5 or 6 tiers of this stadium, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and this massive screen. I think it is the biggest screen in a stadium in the world, and right now it's got the gleaming, magnificent white teeth of the in-house Dallas Cowboys presentation team who are doing their thing at one end, and down below that screen on the pitch we've got the England players. Their team bus inched its way into the stadium here. When Harry Kane was shown on that massive screen, he got a huge cheer from those inside the stadium. Just been watching him sort of chewing the fat with John Stones and Jordan Pickford. Of course, we're expecting all three of them to be in the starting lineup. Harry Kane just leaving the field now, passing through the advertising hoardings, the gap in them, and disappearing off down the tunnel. And yet the feeling seems to be that this England team that Thomas Tuchel will play for their first match against Croatia will be very similar to the team that started against Costa Rica in the last warm-up match. But we'll have news of that over the course of the next half hour or so when it's confirmed.
Yeah, really looking forward to it, John. Thank you. Some stadium, some big screen, some game on the way. England, their first game at this World Cup against Croatia. Former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson alongside John for commentary. Kick-off at 9 o'clock. Couple of changes coming for Portugal here. Rafael Leao is coming on for Pedro Neto, and Nelson Semedo is waiting to come on for Portugal. And I'm looking at some Cristiano Ronaldo stats in the game so far. Semedo is coming on for Nuno Mendes. I think on the screen it's...
Yeah, and Semedo.
It says Conceição, but that would be strange because he's only just come on at
Well, you can be
half-time.
subbed. I mean,
Well, you can, but that would be harsh.
That probably happened to you if you played. Semedo's gone over to right back and Cancelo to left back, but Ronaldo stays on.
He's going to get the winner, Chris. It's written in the stars. Messi 3 yesterday, Mbappe 2, Haaland 2, and Ronaldo gets a late winner against DR Congo.
It's incredible, though. It's like Roberto Martinez is scared of him, isn't he?
You think he is?
Yeah.
Come on, he's not. Come on. Touches in attack for Cristiano Ronaldo so far in the game, 20. Touches in opposition box, 3. What else have we got? Passes into final third, 1. Non-penalty XG. Statman Day would be all over this. 0.17.
Well, I mean, you were, banging on about him being the sharpest shooter in town. He hasn't, in those terms, he hasn't got his gun out of his holster. It's stuck. It's stuck.
Trying to get it out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Throw in for DR Congo. What a start to the group it would be for them. Difficult group, obviously. Uzbekistan and Colombia in here as well. But 1-1 at the moment against Portugal. Semedo is on. Rafael Leao wide left now in place of Pedro Neto. Cristiano Ronaldo remains as the centre forward. And we have got 18 minutes plus added time remaining. And then we're properly getting stuck in live in Dallas to England, Croatia. Conceição scampers away from a challenge. Vitinha plays it wide to Semedo. Fernandes, first time ball. Conceição looks for the cutback. Ronaldo wide. He was in that space at the near post again. There were light blue shirts around him. He got the shot away. And it wasn't deflected wide either because that's been given as a goal kick, unless the offside flag went up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, wonderful pass, wasn't it, from Bruno Fernandes. Conceição pulls the ball back. It should be a corner, I think. Ronaldo gets the first contact. It's brilliant defending. Stops the ball going in on target.
Edo Kayembe is down, delaying the game at the moment. I think we are going to get back underway with a goal
another
kick.
Couple of subs
for DR Congo. No, commentators.
I know you don't enjoy.
Well, they chuck them on.
They put too many on, don't they?
It's just too many loud, Chris. I like the good old days. Just have one. Yeah. But I'll tell you why you're going to be pleased. Charles Pickle's coming on, and you do love a bit of wordplay. So I'm looking forward to this. Charles Pickle is on for Edo Kayembe, and Joris Kayembe, who plays for Genk, has come on and replaced Masuaku. So that is left back for left back. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. Let's get the team news. England-Croatia in Dallas, 9 o'clock kickoff UK time. John Murray has it.
Yeah, England team confirmed for their first match at this World Cup, and it is exactly the same as the starting lineup for the last warm-up match against Costa Rica. So Pickford in goal, a back four of James, Konza, Stones and O'Reilly, then Anderson and Rice, Madueke, Bellingham, Gordon and captain Harry Kane. So that means no place in the team for the first match for Gay, Rodgers, Saka, Rashford and the other members of the squad. But Thomas Tuchel going with the same team that started in that final warm-up match.
Thank you, John. Paul Robinson alongside John Murray for commentary. It's on the way very shortly here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Given away by Vega. Wissa's first time ball looking for Bakambu. And Bakambu was clear and away with open ground in front of him. It was intercepted just in time.
Araujo, who made an interception, I think he's hurt himself in the process.
Here's Conceição on the dribble, dangerous as always, swerving into that DR Congo penalty area. Goes on the outside, followed here by the substitute, Joris Kayembe. Takes him out wide. Conceição still got the ball tied to those twinkling toes, looking for the run of Semedo. Semedo's cut back, can't find Ronaldo. Ball is spinning out of that DR Congo penalty area. Tackle made by Vitinha. 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes. Walks into a light blue wall there. Tired clearance from Capuardi, and it goes out for a throw into Portugal.
And now we're seeing the urgency from Portugal. They know how important it is for them to get out of Houston with 3 points.
Conceição seeing a lot of the ball now. 2 defenders to try and beat. Flicks it through the gap to Semedo. Crosses blocked. It goes behind for the corner. Before that, quick bit of news as well that I'm seeing. Rangers have today confirmed the appointment of Derek McInnes as the new first-team manager on a 3-year contract.
Oh, that's new. Nobody saw that coming, did they?
Corner for Portugal. What do we see coming? It's a Ronaldo goal. That's what I see coming here. Ronaldo's waiting at the far post in the red of Portugal. Floated in his direction. Easy for the keeper Mpassi to come and claim.
Here we go.
Here we go. Bakambu, the 35-year-old. Energy in those legs. Ball at his feet. 50-yard run forward. Plays it to the left-hand side. Siddiqui is on the ball here inside the penalty area. Lays it back. Bakambu shot. Slices it wide off the target and behind for a goal kick. Half a chance for DR Congo.
What an opportunity that was from the corner. Portugal corner, the goalkeeper gathers it and then straight down the other end. Bakambu with the shot is a couple of yards wide of the right-hand post. That was a decent opportunity, 18 yards out, had a bit of time, didn't make the most of the opportunity.
Trying to see where Charles Pickle has stationed himself, Chris. That's him, isn't it? Just trying to cover off the run there on the left-hand side of midfield. Portugal have worked the ball out to the right here to Conceição. Semedo makes a burst forward. Conceição plays it back to Cancelo. Semedo back to Vitinha. Whipped across here to Bruno Fernandes. Into the last 15 minutes of the game. 5 Live BBC Sounds, live at the World Cup. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. Cross in from Leao. Good touch from Conceição. Tries to get the shot away. Deflected. Ball balloons out towards Leao. His first touch is not great. Wan-Bissaka takes it off him. Runs the ball away for DR Congo. Flicks it infield to Bakambu.
Well
Good
played.
centre-forward play.
Yeah.
Holds it up and is fouled.
Terrific centre-forward play under real pressure from Vega there. The ball fizzed in from Wan-Bissaka. And he really held on to it well and drew the foul. Just alleviates the Portuguese pressure.
Slice clearance from the goalkeeper Mpassi. Semedo gets in front of his man, nods it down the right-hand touchline. Capuardi clips that ball into Conceição, so that will go out for a throw-in to DR Congo.
He has made a bit of a difference, hasn't he, Conceição, on that Portuguese right-hand side. Carried a bigger threat. He's a dribbler. He's got that pace. Offered the threat in behind.
Charles Pickle on the ball.
Yeah, nice start from him.
Extravagant curling pass with his right. He's desperate for the ball to be played. He made a good run down the right-hand side there. But obviously, I think the kind of situation we're looking for is to get caught sort of dribbling on the edge of his own penalty area, and then you're in, Chris. Then you're in with old Charles Pickle. Floated pass over the top, looking for the run of Wan-Bissaka. Headed away, only as far as Siddiqui. Crossing beyond Bakambu, claimed by the Portuguese keeper Costa. 1-1.
Rushed it there, Siddiqui. Early cross, Bakambu in the middle all on his own.
Right, Bruno Fernandes loves curling balls into lots of space, which he's done here. And on the right-hand side, it's Conceição with the dribble, caught on the edge of the penalty area. And that will be... Is it a free kick or is he offside, Conceição? Offside. The flag's up for an offside, I think. No. What's he given?
Yeah, I think it's a good call that, but he was certainly fouled, wasn't he? Conceição, diminutive figure, little fella on his left foot coming on the inside, is definitely fouled, but the offside was quite correct. And Portugal, we've just got 10 minutes now, is it?
Yeah, 10 minutes
I
left.
mean, this has flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun,
It really
Bruce.
does, Chris. It really does. 1-1, Portugal against DR Congo. Here comes the countdown. Referee says get on with it, and Passi's got to be careful here. Takes the free kick, drives it forward with his right foot. Full commentary on England-Croatia on the way. No Gahey, no Rashford, no Rodgers in the England starting lineup. Ball bounces in front of Araujo, side foots the pass back to goalkeeper Costa. Plenty on that as it sails underneath the roof, drops in the DR Congo half. Twanzebe under pressure from Ronaldo. Ronaldo chases the back pass towards the goalkeeper and Passi. He wants support from Leao. Leao wasn't
he looks
there
so
to do it.
leggy though, Ronaldo, doesn't he? I mean, he just does. You know, it's like playing with a man down at times.
Will the moment come for him? Will that golden chance come for him in this second half? Gonzalo Ramos is out on the side of the pitch and waiting to come on. So if the moment is going to come for Ronaldo, unless Roberto Martinez takes someone else off and wants to go two up top. I wonder if Ronaldo's seen this. Here's Leao. Leao's side-footed pass on the turn on the edge of the box. Cancelo looking for Ronaldo. Ball's headed away by Twanzebe. Vitinha under pressure has lost it. Mutasami looking for the run of Wissa. Vega's trying to cover it for Portugal, gets across, doesn't get enough on the ball, but does knock it out for a throw. Wissa takes that throw quickly. Costa's got to get back in goal here, but Bakambu on the right-hand side for DR Congo. They are sensing something very special. Siddiqui slides a great ball in to Kayembe's floated cross, miscue, caught by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's getting stretched now, the game. I'm not so sure that's what DR Congo want, but they were wasteful, weren't they? Worked it well getting into the final third, just that final ball was errant.
Right, Portuguese fans getting excited. Ronaldo's on the ball, miles away from goal in the inside right channel, lays it off to Conceição. Ronaldo's lurking edge of the box. Mutasami's got him covered. Back it comes here to João Neves. His goal seems ages ago, early in that first half. Conceição looking to use pace here to try and get past his man and strength. Bit of a wrestling match down by the dead ball line there, and Kayembe wins the battle for DR Congo. Free kick for them. 8 minutes plus added time. Delighted to say more changes coming, Chris, for DR Congo. Oh, here we go, and it's not Ronaldo coming off. Vitinha's coming off.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for Roberto Martinez. He might well do, but I mean, are we all watching a different game to Roberto Martinez?
We've had this debate, Chris. We've had this debate.
He's scared. He's scared to take him off. He's not the manager.
We had it in Qatar. We had it in Germany. We're going to have it again at this tournament.
He may end up scoring the winner, but I mean, the game has passed him by today. It just has. He's a brilliant player, you know, but he was once the playmaker. Now he's a poacher. But he's not just a poacher now, is he? He owns the whole estate. He runs the estate.
Is he the gamekeeper, is he?
Well, no, he's the poacher, he's the gamekeeper.
Can he be both?
And he runs it all.
Araujo, right back position for Portugal. Time is running out here. They took an early lead through the João Neves header. We're totally in control of the game in the first half. Not really enough urgency with it. Wissa's header got the equaliser. Bakambu is chasing a bouncing ball. Tries to hit it very ambitiously first time. And it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, he was in for a second. Could have got his body and went for glory. And had an air shot.
Leao, the AC Milan winger, who can do special things when the moment is right. But Wan-Bissaka,
yeah,
the spider, Chris.
The spider, those long limbs. How many times have you seen that just as you think someone's passed? There, and Wan-Bissaka, a big lanky leg comes out.
That's right.
Loops around the ball.
Simon Banza is waiting to come on for DR Congo, and Wan-Bissaka is coming off to be replaced by Gideon Kalulu. So that's right back for right back, and the other change sees Bakambu coming off. So Bakambu will be replaced by Banza.
Will it be Bonanza? from Banza.
Very good.
Could they?
Could they? Will they? Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. 1 hour and 12 minutes is your countdown until liftoff for England's World Cup campaign as we sit here in the space capital of the world, Houston. John Murray and Paul Robinson waiting with the commentary. Kelly Cates, your presenter this evening. All the reaction in the Football Daily podcast on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow. All the highlights as well from all the games you can find via the BBC Sport website and the BBC iPlayer. 5 Live, your 24-hour World Cup station. The football doesn't stop. We don't stop. 1-1. Are we going to get a late goal in this one? 5 minutes plus added time to play.
Yeah, 2 up top, aren't they now? Portugal, with Ramos playing as a central striker alongside Ronaldo.
If they get a late penalty, Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes to take.
Yeah, I know where my money is.
Okay, I'll go Fernandes then if it happens. Fool and his money soon parted. Araujo driving forward down the right, passes it. Oh my goodness me, nearly said something else there. It's beyond Semedo.
That was that bad, wasn't it?
It was terrible. Out for a throw.
I just wonder what the Portuguese fans are making of this whole performance. Roberto Martinez looks like he's off after the tournament, but it's been such a flat display. I've been really surprised. Sebastian de Sabra, on the other hand, the florist, he's flourishing, isn't he?
Smelling the flowers, Chris, isn't he? 1-1. First World Cup game for DR Congo in 52 years, and it's 1-1 against Portugal. 4 minutes plus added time remaining. Portugal trying to build an attack. Ramos has come really deep wide left there to get involved. Lays it back to Bruno Fernandes, still pointing and shouting and barking orders at everyone. Rafael Leao chests the ball down, faced up by the defender just outside the penalty area, has lost it to him very easily there.
Well, Mbemba, I was thinking that's not where he wants to be, Mbemba. You know, out in a 1v1 situation, handled that brilliantly. He's been excellent.
Portugal are very much flattered to deceive. I mean, we've seen this at major tournaments plenty of times. There's so much quality in this squad. They have been disappointing. They've been disappointing today. 1-1. Leao on the left. Slides the pass through here to Cancelo. Holds his man off. Low cross and passing down. And importantly, the goalkeeper holds onto it with loads of red shirts buzzing around him inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah, really good handling, good goalkeeping from Mpassi. Has released the ball to Wissa, and there's going to be a card here for Nelson Semedo, I think it is.
Yeah.
Wissa does well. Space opens up in front of him. And he drives into the space, and Semedo pulls him down. I mean, the longer the game has gone on, the Congo, they've just gained confidence, and you know, a lot of that is down to Portugal and sort of lax they have been. But
they've got to buck their ideas up of Portugal. Oh, that is a loose pass, and Mutasami's got to rescue DR Congo here. He does well, uses his strength and pace to keep the ball moving across to the left-hand side. Joris Kayembe is there. Back to Axel Twanzebe. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. Still Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. Wissa plays out to the right-hand side to Kalulu, the replacement right back. That is Simon Banza, who's come on up front. Accidentally runs into Ramos, doesn't get a free kick. Neves releases it down the middle. Conceição chases goalkeeper and Mpassi.
Brilliant keeping.
Well outside his penalty area.
Yeah, but he spotted the danger. Had to be the old sweeper keeper there.
Kayembe slides the ball into Wissa. Wissa, central position, 35 yards out. Little flick behind with the right foot from Charles Pickle. Nearly lost the ball.
Yeah, he did.
Trying something a bit spicy there, wasn't he, Chris?
He was. Well, he made a pickle of that, didn't he?
Pass out from the goalkeeper and Mpassi. We're in the 90th minute now, still 1-1. Long ball over the top. Through it comes to Diogo Costa. 3 teams can go through from this group, but obviously if you win the group, you'll come up against the 3rd place team. If Portugal and Argentina win their groups, in the quarterfinals we could get Ronaldo, Messi. Ronaldo still in the starting 11 by then. Here's Conceição bringing the ball infield, waiting to see how much added time we've got at the end of this game. Conceição received it from Bruno Fernandes. Good tackle. Comes back here to João Neves. Fernandes in space on the right-hand side. Outside of his right foot. Cross comes in. Tuanzebe heads it away. Cancelo gets a foot on the ball. Bruno Fernandes lines up. Left-footed drive! Ooh, goodness me, that was close. Fizzing past the left-hand post and behind for a goal kick.
It was a really decent effort, wasn't it? Bruno Fernandes, 22 yards out on his left foot. And he just drags it wide of the left-hand post of Mpassi. He'll be disappointed he didn't hit the target. It opened up, didn't it? And he wraps his left foot around it. It's a yard wide.
England-Croatia, full commentary on the way with John Murray and Paul Robinson live from Dallas. Kicks off at 9 p.m. UK time. Full hour of build-up on the way after this game. BBC Sound's the place to find it if you're on the move. Bruno Fernandes, good first-time pass out to Semedo, driving forward down the right, fizzes a low pass into the feet of Conceição, up against Kayembe. Semedo makes the run on the outside, the pass not good enough, sliding clearance from Kayembe, and it goes out for a throw-in to Portugal. 4 minutes of this game left. Throw-in to Bruno Fernandes. Now he's given space to turn here, that could be dangerous. Cross comes in, Ronaldo's up to try and win the header, glances it behind him. Leao lays it back here to Cancelo, who's now over at left back with Semedo at right. He's tackled, and the throw-in is going to be Portugal's or DR Congo's. Push and shove here.
Yeah, a bit of unnecessary shoving there on the touchline.
It's Charles again.
Yeah, Pickle in the mix.
Throwing up towards Banza.
That's a foul.
Okay, well, he's... Oh, my goodness me. Wissa's absolutely cleaned out there. Immediate yellow card for Araujo. Initially, it was Banza who took a touch, turned it round the corner to Wissa. He was clothesline there. He was moving at full gas.
Well, should that be red? I mean, I'd love to see that again. I mean, that was... I mean, you describe it perfectly.
Oh...
I mean, I think that's a really naughty challenge. Were defenders getting round? Absolutely. But he closed. It's a clothesline. Yeah. It's a wrestling move.
Yeah. His body is there to make the block, but his arm comes through with it and gets him after his chest does. They'll have a look, Chris. They'll obviously have a look.
I don't know. Is wrestling like that allowed? Is a wrestling move allowed in?
They had it on the...
He's nearly taking his head off. I think Sebastian de Sabra, the Congo manager.
Yeah. They had it on the front lawn of the White House the other day, Chris, didn't they? I mean, that would not have been out of place there. Anyway, free kick, and luckily Wissa's okay. DR Congo free kick. How long have we got? We've got 2 minutes left in this game. Portugal 1, DR Congo 1, which is going to be a superb result for the Democratic Republic of Congo, who have been properly welcomed in at their base here in Houston. Their arrival really was truly spectacular.
Here we go, though. Can Portugal just find a magic moment?
My expectations of that have dwindled to nothing. Last couple of minutes, 1-1. Portugal passing it around, but no penetration. Fernandes, right-footed to his right. João Neves has got Conceição ahead of him, makes that 6-yard pass. Semedo's involved. Mutasami's followed him out there. Semedo's beaten him, knocked the ball round him. Now, can he get past the other defender, Kayembe? No, he can't, but he has won Portugal a corner late in the game, and we are ticking over into the very last minute, Chris Sutton, of this game.
Yep, this is it for Portugal. Can they produce that moment?
Ronaldo furiously waving his right arm, standing all alone behind the goalkeeper and Mpassi. Now jumping up and down on his toes. Delivery comes in from the right-hand side. It's an away swinger. Goalkeeper's got it, and Mpassi.
I love that. I love that. You see so many goalkeepers now who just want to stay on the line and not commit and not risk.
It's giving the ball away, and Mpassi. Cancelo sees an opportunity to find Bruno Fernandes way out on the right-hand side. Fernandes controls, thought about the early cross. Cuts it back, but the pass is beyond. João Neves giving it away, and here's Wissa charging forward for DR Congo. Still going, Wissa, ball at his feet. Now Semedo's got pace, he's going to jockey with him, stay out there. Conceição comes racing in, hacks at the ball with his left foot and wins it. Then can't keep his footing, concedes a throw.
Have you got a long throw, Congo? I mean, this will be the last play of the game, won't it?
Certainly will. Oh, hang on. Eyeball to eyeball. Yeah. Wissa and Conceição. And Conceição's on his tiptoes there to try and get eyeball to eyeball. Face to face. Has been a little bit of needliness. Oh, it's all over. Well, what a result for the Democratic Republic of Congo, back at the World Cup for the first time in over half a century. And Yohan Wissa's emphatic header at the end of the first half has got them a well-deserved point against this really impressive Portuguese squad. Impressive in terms of names, potential and ability. Not so impressive under the roof at Houston today. Took an early lead, but not enough urgency in the game. And I think DR Congo deserved the point, Chris.
Absolutely. They started with a bit of fear, didn't they? But the longer the game went, Portugal were painful. Let's get it right. That was a really insipid, flat performance. First game of a World Cup, you think they were going to offer far more. They have some brilliant players. But the story's all about Congo and the way that they performed, the way they grew into the game. Wissa getting them level. Second half, actually. I mean, it was a pretty even game, but what a point for DR Congo. And Sebastian de Sabra, the florist, his team have flourished. For Portugal, Roberto Martinez.